Whitney Cummings on today, Dana. Whitney, she's one of my friends that when I'm on Instagram, I used to see her podcast on there right when we were starting. I was like, oh, she has one, and Theo and Tim Dillon. All of people I know and hang out with a little bit. So Whitney, it was about time. You know, Fly on the Wall has got a little leaning toward SNL, but we also work in just funny comics to get a good funny hour out of it.
She loved SNL. She's
and they all love SNL, and they're all influenced by SNL.
The connection.
That's our big tie-in.
She comes in with a lot of energy and really dropping some funny ad-libs in this. I wanted you to call her, or I'd call her and say, I don't know if those are planned bits, but you can make a special out of some of those things. Yeah,
some of these things are...
She has some very, very funny riffs and lots of energy.
Yeah, good on her feet. A lot of good road stories. She was the first... when I met her, she was show running 2 shows. She had Whitney, the show, and she also had 2 Broke Girls she created. And that was just right when she got here when she was 29, I think. So she's been working hard since. So I see her a lot at the Improv and the Comedy Store. And she just had a baby, and we're all trying to figure out who's the dad.
That's the reality show. And the host is, the initials are DS.
Yeah, welcome to Who the Baby Daddy? So anyway, Dana does a timeout.
No, I was doing a scissor for Greg.
Yeah. Okay, we can cut that. Anyway, we have...
it's bad enough we made fun of Biden. We don't need this on us.
Yeah, we don't need this shit.
The mics will be turned off next. No, anyway, she was great. Really, really fun, high energy interview.
Here is the lovely and hilarious Whitney Cummings.
I wasn't the star of the Zoom COVID shows like you were, Spade.
You fucking, how dare you right off the bat.
You played elevators. Didn't you play an elevator once? You did just like a 1-minute set.
He headlined a fountain at the Grove.
I thought we weren't going to do this, Whitney.
I thought, dude, he killed at the American Girl Place. God damn it, I said it.
You fucked it up. Thank you. Thank you.
No.
God, that's all I wanted, all I wished for.
Can you say it again? Just articulate it.
He killed at the American Girl doll place. I don't even know what it's called.
Close enough. I did pretty good when I did the balcony of Cheesecake Patio.
Dude, I could not follow you at Build-A-Bear. You murdered.
Oh, that was pretty smooth. Okay.
Thanks. I'm warming up.
You know where I never do well? Zara. Changing room.
At Zara. By the way, are you one of those people? Do you shop at Zara?
I walk by, yeah.
You know, like, I love the new brag that people do that they have the least expensive clothes. It used to be like, it's Gucci. If someone's like, I like your shirt, you'd be like, Gucci or whatever.
Yeah.
But now it's like Zara. Like, I only paid $10 for it. Like 19 children made it.
Yeah. More kids made it. It costs way less.
That's not even a tie-dye. That's a child's tear. Like, they're bragging of how cheap their clothes are now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, the whole economy has made America turn into Erewhon.
Erewhon. You know,
Erewhon.
I'm jumping in. I don't even know if we're recording. Are we?
We're
Does
almost over,
care?
Yeah.
Oh.
We are, and there's no structure and no really good idea.
I've listened to the show. I agree.
Boom.
One of my favorite... No, I love the show.
It's unbelievable.
No, there's a lot of them. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say there's a lot of shows out there. 3 million.
By the way, I'm going to say something that's going to get me in trouble. I'm going to say something that's going to get me uncast from the sequel to the Pop-Tart movie. Okay. Your interview with Seinfeld was, I think, maybe the best of anyone that's ever interviewed him. Maybe the only good one.
Whoa, that won't get you in trouble with us.
He was so funny.
He loves, as you know, the process of stand-up. I think he could have done another 2 hours about the idiosyncratic aspect of the art of or science of stand-up, right?
He was he just kept saying to you guys, like, fascinating. I loved it.
He liked it. And he's also not afraid to tell me when I have a horribly dumb question. But I like that because that means that when he's positive, it's real. But
that's what I think, he was trying to figure out. I loved when he said, do you guys listen to podcasts? Why? Spade, I heard you laugh.
I said, no, why would I would never do that?
But I think, no, these things are a mess. But I liked it because it felt like there's so few people he can be gruff with. Like, I think that when you're a comic, you're like a heavyweight and everyone else is a lightweight, not in a negative way. You're better if you're not someone whose default is to play rough. But the fact that he really felt like he could like play rough with you and like play, and it felt like he was just, it's rare that I see him have that much fun.
The fascinating nexus between him and Leno, who Leno probably had maybe the best quote in the history of stand-up, defining it for open micers. Write joke, tell joke, get check. And
that really boiled it down.
And Jerry is a disciple, I don't know religiously, but he's into Stoicism, which is this Roman emperor thing that you do not create problems you don't have, and problems you can't solve, you ignore. So whenever Jerry's bluntness is a push against that. Like, well, what if I don't have new material? No, write more jokes. It's like, and it's that's where it's coming from. And once I understood that, I thought I wasn't on my heels. Like, what's all this aggression coming from? He just can't stand negativity.
Well, he also says he doesn't suffer fools.
Okay.
Like, if you're
I want to
not
hear what
funny,
Whitney says.
No, I'll get to her.
Which, by the way, Spade, I was about to give Spade a compliment just really quick. I love listening to both of you together. I get why this show's a hit. One of my favorite things Spade has ever done is when you were on Howard Stern. This must have been like 12 years ago. I love it when you drop a reference that is so esoteric. Truly, no one gets it. I think I'm the only one. You sat down on Howard Stern's couch and you went, "Oh, what is this? The Gallery?" I mean, it's like there's one The Gallery. It hasn't been open in like 20 years.
It's out in Alhambra.
It was just like, I love that you're like, one's for you and that one was for me.
Thank you. Yes, it was weird furniture.
It is a funny moment when you go on Howard Stern and they put you in and you sit there and then they put the thing on you and the mic is there. It's like you're getting a little kid's hat on or something. It's just a funny moment. Here you go. And it's right there.
It's also 4 a.m. Like the Lunesta hasn't even worn off. I still have NyQuil PM pulsing through my veins. I'm like, this is going to go real Roseanne real fast. Every time I walk out of Howard Stern, I'm like, that went well. Then someone gives me my phone. It's like 47 missed calls, like from my publicist being like, why did you sit on a vibrator saddle?
Oh yeah, why did you sit on the
that's the old Howard though. Now it's long form interviews, right? But yeah,
that's true. But to get back to the Stoicism thing, Dana, are you into Stoicism?
Well, I think it's a good thing if you can do it, not worry about things you can't control.
And these were the Greeks like 1,000 years ago, right?
A Roman emperor, Marcello, wrote a book called Meditations, which had a lot of it was a diary to himself, but it was discussing philosophy of life and nature and everything. And part of it, the core thing is, don't make problems where they don't exist. You go to a therapist about that, being neurotic. And if it is a problem you can't solve, don't worry about it. If you can not worry, if you can go through life at peace and not worrying about things you can't control, that's a good thing. But that's the limit of my knowledge, Whitney. Go ahead.
I just, as a general rule, I tend to not take advice from 1,000-year-ago Romans.
Yeah.
As a general rule, I try to not
2,000 years.
Whatever. I try to not take advice.
That guy was a middle.
From men that just had sex with kids. Like, I don't know. It's this new thing where everyone's like, you know what the Romans said? I'm like, I feel like their judgment was a little off. I don't know.
Probably.
They lived to be 24.
They lived in like castles and wore dresses and sandals. Like, how hard was their life? Like, I just don't know if 2,000 years ago wisdom applies to like, are we addicted to social media?
Right. What did he say about that?
What would Jerry say?
No, what did they get? Roman guy.
Oh, the Roman guy.
I like that Jerry's not self-indulgent. Like, he's like, it's not my job to care.
Right.
It's like,
he says, don't, sorry to interrupt you. I'll keep doing it. But he says about stand-up, because I said, we're doing a special. And then I hate throwing everything away. I don't even want to throw everything away. I love it so much. He's like, Don't throw it away. You don't have enough good stuff. Like everyone thinks they have a great new hour. He goes, you don't. Your first hour is great, and then it just gets watered down, and they keep churning them out. It is hard to do it because you want to percolate with that stuff and let it marinate for years before you go, this one is fucking tight. And then you go do it and they go, okay, throw it in the garbage.
I have a question for you two. Has doing the podcast changed the way you perform stand up? Because sometimes I feel like this pressure to be more conversational because you know what I mean? And like, will I come off corny if I come out with jokes for a bunch of people that have heard me having like more casual conversations? Does it ever affect you?
Oh, I see.
I would think that it did affect me in a way. If I'm in a small room, I don't know about if it's a big casino or something, all the noise, but I would even call it podcast stand-up. In other words, sometimes I wrote a bit about the world's first sociopath. To say it's like a little story. I say, this bit has never worked. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go through it again and tell you the parts you hated. And they love that. And it's kind of podcasty, put it that way.
I love that. Do you find that since you've been podcasting, people are more interactive in the audience? I'm trying to figure out if it's from crowd work clips, if we've trained them. I don't mind hecklers.
Did you see the giant, sorry to interrupt, but I like to do it. The huge article in the New York Times or Wall Street Journal about the crowd work becoming the thing, even with comedians who could write an hour. What's better than me hatching a bit with crowd work? So when we came along, that was considered hacky to lean on it, to be a crowd work guy. Easiest thing in the world. Where are you from? Why is your wife a whore? Boom, So it is there's a movement now. I mean, you're aware of that, right? With younger stand-ups.
Yeah. I did not read the New York Times article about it. I don't pay for my news. Dude, I am very up to date with the news as long as it's free. Like I've realized about myself,
TikTok.
The news can literally be like, are we going to war with Russia? I'm like, oh my, are we? And it's like $2.
Yeah.
$2 to hear that.
For
I always tell people
of the New York Times, no thanks.
Whitney, what reason I do it is because I always tell anyone who has an opinion about anything, immediately read the opposite. Immediately read the opposite. Don't just if you're worried about climate change, go read the Wall Street Journal or go on Fox News. If you're not, then go. So I like the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times are Coke and Pepsi of left and right. And it's $100 a year for a thing. And I just peruse their editorials. This is it, because I want to know what they think.
New York Times is just a gay blog at this point, right? Isn't it just like a pride parade pamphlet? I'm not really clear on what it even is. I mean, dude, the New York Times is like, I stopped following them on Twitter because they'll juxtapose the most horrendous news with like new twist on avocado toast. And then the next tweet will be like 700 children blown up in Gaza. I'm like, Jesus, guys. Like,
I know.
It's a little hard.
Well, do you ever find yourself reading comments after an editorial? And that's where you get a sense of the zeitgeist of the newspaper. But if you read comments in the New York Times about the Trump and Biden, it'll be like, Trump is more crazy. He can't put two words together and he falls down. That's almost 300 comments saying, no, that's the guy. And then you go on Fox News and it's like, Biden can't. Da, 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 da. So it's very interesting. You can get a quick hit on the American culture.
I'm so much deeper that wherever my algorithm is Biden's a lizard. And oh no.
Why you give a thumb?
For those
Whitney just got a virtual thumbs up.
Oh, does that mean you program it to thumbs up your own jokes?
For those of you listening, you can't see this, but on my Zoom, I'm basically, we all have to be Korean teenagers now, where when I make a gesture, this one is the most embarrassing. If you give 2 thumbs up, it starts.
Wow.
Now you have fireworks.
Whitney
so
is
great.
Making gestures and then fireworks are coming up. And so for old people, how do we get that on our
I don't know. The reason I was late to the call because I just re-downloaded Zoom. I don't go on Zoom. There was did you not read? There was it was released at the Zoom terms of agreement, which by the way, we never read, which is so funny that we never read any of these.
Anything.
It says you're donating to Russia.
Totally. And it was Zoom. They were using our Zoom calls to train robots. which I think would be very funny if the robots were a remix of comedians doing podcasts. At least we don't have to worry about them taking over. So
all the robots are doing crowd work now.
Also with Zoom calls and stuff, don't you feel like people are abusing this a little bit? I'll get on a Zoom and I'm like, you guys, this was a text at most.
This was a fucking one sentence text.
This was barely an email. Like, what are we doing here?
Would you like us to manage your cookies? That comes up a lot. Would you like us to?
Cookies are your past searches, right?
I think it's how they harvest us and sell us to robots.
I think it's vagina.
Sick.
Cookies allows them.
Can we get your cookies?
So I have absolutely. I'm sorry to cut you off. I feel like I'm just not answering your questions and being a good
They're not
guest.
real.
I have.
You're our favorite guest so far. No pressure.
I was actually going to ask you that.
Well, you're bringing a lot of funniness and energy. It was pretty nice.
Dana decided to eat lunch during the podcast.
I know. Are you choking on a Ludens? What's happened?
He's got a Luna bar.
Are you
These just little tangerines?
Cuties?
Do you have a pay partnership with Cuties?
No, it's not an ice cream. A Cutie's like a little fake ice cream.
I mean, this is the level of fame, Dana and Spade. You have a paid partnership with Dole Fruit.
Yeah. Everything about me. This is North Face. Everything about me is paid. These glasses are. Yeah. Everything is. Yeah.
What are you? Pod sponsors Chiquita Banana.
Are you in a second grade classroom or something?
Yeah, Jesus, teacher.
Are you like
I wish you could see this. She's got.
Sorry, I'm not in Anne Frank's basement. And
Spade.
No, I don't know what Spade. Spade, what is that? Is that a sound booth?
That's a skateboard. I had shit behind me, but there was photos of things, and it just all was too distracting. So it was either have too much like you or Bobby Lee, where it's like so many bobbleheads and stuff, or you have something plain, so everyone just looks at me. And that's why I thought I won that round.
You know what? A lot of people don't know a lot about you, Spade. You skateboarded for real?
No, I know how to skateboard. And so I was a skater from 8 years old to until now, but I was pretty good at it in the pools and ramps to kill time because I couldn't play football in high school. So I was a skater.
Do you know I'm dating a pro skateboarder?
Oh, I know your buddy. Yeah, I see him. I saw him at the improv with you the other night.
Yeah.
And but he's better than me. Yes.
He's a professional skateboarder.
And it's very hard.
And
does he? Wow.
He forced me to watch Joe Dirt, which I had never seen before.
Oh, well, I don't know if forced is the word you're looking for.
It was, I called Ronan Farrow after. I marched. I put on a pussy hat and marched.
Okay, so you're famous and you're out there and you're Whitney. So how do you meet a guy like that? Were you at a skate park or I'm just curious?
Yeah.
I was on Instagram. He DM'd me on Instagram, slid into the DMs.
Yeah.
And I responded. Yep. And
do you exchange pictures?
There's literally no other way to meet people.
He knows how you look because there's all my YouTube videos and specials. So did you want a picture of him?
Yeah, and then I looked at his, and I don't really know the skateboarding world, but what I will say is that skateboarding, the trajectory and the stand-up trajectory are very similar. Like I literally started doing stand-up in parking lots. You do it on your own with a bunch of weirdo. It's like skating's kind of the same. Skating is physical injury. Like stand-up, I guess, is more like emotional injury. I also didn't know about skateboarding. You get paid like nothing unless you're like the guy.
Yeah,
and so it's we actually had a lot in common from that, but I didn't know anything about skateboarding. I do prefer men who have CTE. I don't like men that remember what I said yesterday because I'm such a hypocrite. So I was like, this could work. But I didn't know he was like successful at it. And so I was like, congrats. Like, this is so cool that you're like trying to do this. It's like seeing an older man with braces. You're like, good job. Like, it's so cool. And then I found out he's like pretty good at it,
Well, Tony Hawk was on and he'd go, I broke this 5 times, his shoulder. I broke the clavicle 3 times. It was almost like a badge of honor. How's your guy doing? Yeah, no, he's a disaster. It's the first time I've ever had to be on top. It's a nightmare. No, it's I got a new hour. We're recording this.
He comes home from work. Honey, how was your kickflip?
Of all the athletes, though, I dated a rock climber. That's even worse because rock climbers, they can't get their fingers wet. That's not a joke.
Is it true?
Because they'll die. They'll die. They'll slide off the mountain.
Yeah, I think that's why he was dating an older woman. I don't know, but the point is that dating athletes I've never been a fan of because they're so competitive, like about every little thing. And like you can't be like, oh, take a left here. And he's like, I think it's a right. I'm like, I think it's a left. And he's like, oh, it is a left. But then I'll be like, it should have been a right because technically, if the freeway, like it should, like he can't lose an argument. He can't, like
sounds
the way
like a keeper.
We're both very petty. So we get along great.
Nice.
But he loves Joe Dirt. He made me watch Joe Dirt. I had never seen it before. Is that weird?
You haven't gotten to a compliment yet, but I'll wait.
That's a little weird. It's a classic, I would say, of the 90s.
She's
comedies.
like, it is a movie. I watched it. It was a movie that you were in. What else is there to say? I don't know.
But watching it now for the first time is wild.
It's not really a girl movie. Go ahead.
Because you're seeing David in his.
I was nice in it.
You and I are like real friends. And I was like, if this is such an iconic thing, what if I become a fan of and like ruin our friendship? What if I'm like, hey, can I get a picture? Wouldn't that be weird if I all of a sudden became like a creepy fan of yours? Like,
yeah, we don't want that.
You know what I mean? But are you glad that I love you for you and I'm friends with you?
There's a lot of people that I see that don't know really anything because no one always watches everything like we've talked about. So I did see your shows, Whitney, and I had seen Too Broke. We call it Too Broke. We do.
Okay.
What did you call it?
Are you busy? Are you busy? Too busy to finish it?
Yeah. Do you call it TB?
Did you smile? What was the look on your face when you brought up Two Broke Girls?
Yeah, you just lit up.
That was weird, wasn't it? I had like a very bizarre like Bell's palsy.
Well, what are you like 25 and you make up a show and it does 140 episodes? I mean, I think you're kind of I don't know. You work hard. Looking at your
very
wiki
smart
page.
girl.
Thank you.
You keep going. I don't know. I mean, so you got books. You got. Oh, by the way, it's still called. Your podcast is called Good for You.
Thank you. Yes,
we just wanted to promote that.
I've done it.
I appreciate it. You
Super
guys.
fun.
Well, no, my podcast is doing well, but then people like you decided to start podcasts, and now none of us are doing well. They're like we were doing great.
We got a lot of competition too. We got fucking Ted Danson. You know that dick.
Oh,
has a podcast.
Why? Why? No, I'm not trying to be mean, but why?
He did it with Woody. I think they talk. Do they talk? It's not only about Cheers. It's about Cheers at another bar.
Yeah, I have to make sure that people knew I was joking. He's an incredibly sweet guy.
He's on our show next week. Yeah,
he's coming out.
A
lot of people are doing it.
Anyone that can outrun blackface. They're meant to be. They're cemented. The guy can literally do no wrong.
But wait a minute. Do you think Whoopi was who kind of egged him on and probably put the stuff on Ted? Do you think she was secretly kind of smiling to herself? As he approached
never leave
the
me
podium?
Now? Yeah. Maybe. Do you think she applied it? I mean, that's my main thing with blackface. I'm like, let's talk about the person that applied it up to the waterline. I mean, like,
up to the waterline.
Justin Trudeau's blackface, it's on his hand. I mean, that must have taken 7 hours. It was like the X-Men makeup artist must have done it. I mean, that's what it really gets.
I never found it funny, and I never was ever going to have someone put me in blackface because I remember watching Al Jolson as a kid, those 1930s Shirley Temple movies. And it was like, this is not right. And I'm like 10 years old. I just go, I don't like it.
When people ask me, they're always like, so is the Hollywood business, is it a perverted place? I'm like, let's just put it this way. It was built on the back of a 4-year-old toddler named Shirley Temple, who was twerking on grown men at war. She was always like at war, like on a ship with a bunch of sailors. There was no mom, no babysitter in sight, no mom. She was just adopted by a bunch of old men.
No intimacy coordinator.
Judy Garland, who I did a sitcom.
Dude, remember her movie, The Finger Blast Lollipop, or whatever that song was?
If weird movie, we know how to make movies. When Shirley Temple is in a movie at 4, that means she was cast at like 3.5. She was having wardrobe fittings at 3.
She got an agent at 2.
Yeah. Headshots at 1.
She had a nose job in utero. Anyway, I
cold reading class.
Okay, nose job in utero.
I like that.
Mic drop. We're done. That's it. Okay, we can move on now. Whitney 15, Dana and David 3.
I never answered about the crowd work thing. So look, I think it's cool that, we're moving a little bit like on social media more towards things that are easier to make. I just look at it as that opportunity to go, okay, we can do something harder than that. Crowd work is a thing that you are supposed to just get as a, fun surprise at a live show. But like to blow all of your written stand up on clips, that was hard for us too, So it's like, if we can just go out and put crowd work on here and not blow the material we would put in a special, maybe this is a good way to feed the beast of social media.
Started trouble.
Yes. You have to have content. If you're really in this business, you have to have something in the slipstream almost daily, every other day. I met many grumpy old men when I was coming up. It ain't like it used to be. So I promised myself I wouldn't be someone going, well, that's not real comedy. So it's the way it is now in less than a minute, that this new art form called clips. And I find it really kind of fun. And we have people clip it together and they put little cartoons on it. So it's like, it's actually a cool new art form and people love it.
And it's kind of like, I think it's cool to let people know, like, yes, we write our jokes, but also look how funny we are extemporaneously. And if you do come to a show, you'll get a chance to talk to us. Like, although the funny side effect to me is that like everyone in the first like 3 rows is dressed now like they're going to get in a clip. And it's like the first 3 rows, the bitches just have like hats and like cowboy. Everyone's just like ready to be on camera. Like,
also make fun of me. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they're kind of just like, do you want to make fun of my tits? And I'm just like, do I have
to? You want to squeeze it?
Yeah. So I feel like people are kind of like ready to be on camera at all times,
Oh, yeah.
Which is fine too. Why not?
Your podcast has clips that are funny. And so you're funny on those. And then, which we do those podcast ones too. And then you are doing clips from your stand-up. So when people come see you do stand-up, it's funny because in their mind, you better be funny on your podcast. You better be funny in crowd work. Because I had someone go, I thought your show was great, but I did see a bit you did on Ellen a couple years ago. I'm like, how much? What is it? Can I not? I have to do 15 minutes on Ellen every 3 weeks. It's like, also, I have to have some repeat business.
Which is so annoying because like, musicians, it's like play the hits.
Yeah.
And we're just like, Jesus, that is really frustrating. That is my worst nightmare, that I remix something.
It's the exact opposite. You're like Journey, and they fucking did Don't Stop Believing. I almost walked out.
Yeah, I had a guy tell me once, maybe you guys have had this after a show years ago. He goes, no matter how many times I hear those jokes, they're still funny to me. And you're like, I need some new material.
Oh, no, I'm obsessed with the backhanded compliments you get when you walk off stage. Like that people genuinely think they're saying something nice. Like when you get off stage and someone's like, you're too smart for them.
Yeah.
You're just too smart for them. They're just right over their
crowd.
heads. They'd fuck this crowd. I'm like, I thought I did well.
Yeah.
It's like when I come off stage and someone's like, you are such a good writer. Like, what?
Funny.
Yeah. Like,
what?
Quitting stand-up and going back to just writing?
Or like, I get a lot of like, you know what I love about you? You don't even care what you wear. Like, you don't even care.
You don't care how you look.
You're just so authentic. Like, you don't care what you look. I'm like, I tried very hard for this.
Do you still want to do meet and greets, or who are these people? Are they crew members off to the side?
My manager. Do you guys do meet and greets when you tour?
I haven't in a while.
If they wanted, I'm playing a casino this weekend.
8
I
shows.
assume the tribal elders will come in with blue eyes and blonde hair and a little feather and go.
I love playing casinos, dude, because you know that on native land, there's no police.
There's no police. You're not really the show. It's half papered. The casino doesn't want you to go too long. Get them at the tables. So,
Oh, last time I did a casino, I don't remember where it was. I don't want to, get in trouble with the native community by making up a silly name, but we already did that with the Sandler movie, Ridiculous Six, Spade. And so I am at this casino. There's a guy in the lobby. When I tell you bleeding from the head, just bleeding from the head, insert scalped joke here. And I was like, oh, we need to call the police there. David Spade is literally yawning, you guys, just FYI for the people listening.
No, I know where this is going.
I just gave him mono with my story. And I was like, we have to get the police. And the police are appointed by the elders. It's like they're friends that need a job.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. That's it.
It's their entourage.
I like casinos. There's something fun about being in a venue where everyone else is making worse decisions than you. You know what I mean? Like it's nice to be like, okay.
It's
these are like memes. I need a minute to process that.
I love casinos. I always have my tour, and then there's always casinos peppered in. They just throw you in. You're like, it's a little out of your way, but it's worth it. You go out there, and they're usually pretty good. The last
they can be really good unless it's Vegas in July and it's 121 outside, and they've been by the pool all day, and either they're drunk or they're literally almost asleep. That's kind of rough.
I love the science of casinos. One of my favorite things to satisfy my, I like to think, pretty high functioning autism is the carpets in casinos and in the casino hotels. You know, they're specifically designed to disguise like blood and shit and puke. So the patterns are always just like red splatters. Like, look at it next time. It's kind of fascinating.
Did not know that. I do like the no clocks, and it's all dark. And there's something about people at a slot machine with a free drink. That seems like one of the most decadent things you can do. And it's 10 a.m. and they're just going to have free drinks all day and pull slots.
It's so wild. And then the brand, there's like a Sex in the City slot machine. And you're just kind of like, I love that someone at HBO was like, you know what we need this season? Like, who is putting all these together? Like, it's a fascinating business model to me. And I also find it fascinating because there's always so much more security at casinos. Like, do you ever notice, like, I feel like I go to casinos, I feel like more glamorous for some reason. I don't know why. Like, when you're just doing venues, they're like, hey, what's up? Like, they don't, sound check. Like, they don't. Whereas, like, because I mean, maybe it's because the people that are working at those venues want to be comics, or, Ludacris was there the night before and you're just some, idiot from Premium Blend or whatever. But like, I noticed this recently. Do you guys notice this, that like when you're known or famous or whatever, that everyone always thinks you're going to fall? Like, when I walk to the stage, the number of people who hover around me to make sure I don't fall, I'm like,
yeah.
Are you in heels? What do you wear?
Just sneakers. Like, I just mean like security and stuff. Like, it's just funny when you finally get like successful or something and you're like, oh, no one respects me. Like, I thought it would make people think I was competent. And everyone's like, can I help you down the stairs? And you're like, no, I think I got it. Like,
it's going to be about a 6-foot walk. You got it. You're going to go straight out. And then the stage ends at some point. So don't walk off the end.
Is there stuff? Do I come off dumb? Like, do I come off like I get lost a lot? Like, I
think it's more fake reasons to talk to you and grab you because you're cute.
Oh, I'm too stupid.
No, you're cute, and they just want to talk. A reason to talk to you.
But when they like hover around, like like Matt Rife, I'm like, he's 25 years old. He's got it. Like 80-year-old.
He just did the pommel horse backstage. He's fine.
but and then so what are you guys going to tour together?
No plans.
No plans.
You hate money,
Well, no, usually
that's what our manager says.
When you do the math,
you guys hate money.
Group shows would be great for you. 5 of you go out together. And then you do the math of the door, and I don't know how much it's value added. I probably just ski in the wake of Spade's crowd.
Can we do it? The We Love Money tour, us 3. We'll go in the car from Joe Dirt. I just found out it was for sale.
It was bought already.
Spade didn't buy it. The car from Joe Dirt was for sale, and Spade did not buy it. What is money for?
It was $330,000.
You make
like
that
she said. Why didn't you buy it?
It's your bar tab.
You make that with one Crunchy Leaf post.
No, I actually talked to the guy about buying it beforehand, and then I thought I would have it here, but not many people could see it because I don't have like a used car lot. You can't, I just have a garage, and it's just, I love that car. I fucking love it. And the guy that bought it is cool. He has a huge Joe Dirt tattoo on his chest, and he loves the movie. And
it's fascinating, the people that have that stuff. I remember when we did Roseanne, the reboot, I did the first season back, and there was a guy that collected, stuff from TV shows, and he had the Roseanne couch. The fact that they sold it is wild, right? Should have been the Smithsonian or something. And we asked if we could just use it, like we'll rent it, whatever. And he said no.
Oh, right. To have Roseanne use it again, which makes it worth more again.
Yeah. He just said no, like no amount of money will I will not give this to you guys to shoot for the reboot of the show. It was just
Jesus.
I know, like my strange addiction to it. Like I buy stuff from TV shows and don't let anyone touch it. I don't know.
Do you steal wardrobe and stuff like that?
That's the real question.
Because we had John Corbett on Sex and the City and Big Greek Wedding. Anyway, so at the end of a shoot, he just goes to the wardrobe place and just doesn't talk to anyone or ask anyone. And he just takes it all, and he has it in boxes up in Northern California. He has like hundreds of underwear and socks and shoes. And he took the Moose from Northern Exposure sitcom. It was a big hit. He just took it. He doesn't ask. He just harvests sets and things.
Am I allowed to gossip?
What's that? Yeah, go ahead.
I heard that Mariah Carey on some movie she did a cameo in some Will Ferrell movie, House Money, maybe it was called. And they gave her this like $300,000 necklace to wear, and she just like wore it home. I mean, like just psycho,
I like that.
I never do that because I don't want someone to get fired or get in trouble. But also, they need to keep it in case you have to do reshoots. They would need it for continuity. As a producer and writer,
yeah, I know that's the other side of it.
Yeah, because
on the other side.
Now it's turned into everyone sees what's happening in LA at Walgreens. Everyone just steals everything at Macy's, so they just go into wardrobe and go, "You can't do anything," and they just take all their wardrobe and leave. And they go, "Don't chase him."
You two must have such iconic stuff that you just think is like trash in a storage unit, but is like worth $1 billion on eBay.
I do have the church lady dress and glasses and a wig.
That was a wig?
It's in one of my homes. Anyway, in a closet.
Can't remember which one.
It's in West Hollywood right now. Because I technically, when I got on Saturday Night Live, the rules changed afterwards because I came in with the character that I own it. So I just have that made for, when I really, really am down and out, I'll do corporate gigs as the church lady, full regalia, coming out, firing hard.
Do you have it like in plastic or something? Like
it's the dress is hung up. It looks fine. And,
can we do like an Instagram? The only way that anyone will socialize with their own friends these days is to monetize it somehow. So can I come to your house? We'll shoot it. Don't worry. And we can do like closet organizing of all your like iconic things that you have.
Well, that's my biggest.
I don't think there's that much stuff. I only have Dickie Roberts wardrobes, the shorts from Grown Ups, the shirt from Grown Ups, bench warmers stuff. And
are you reading that off a laptop?
And I'm thinking the wig from Joe Dirt.
Is that on your post-it note? Like,
why did I look to the side?
That's it looked like you were reading it off. Like it
looked like an assistant off the side was holding outfits to show you.
I think in the old days, like Debbie Reynolds or Ann Miller or those Donald O'Connor musicals, they would have so much stuff,
They sell it now and it's big biz. They go back and just get all the stuff from those prop houses and they sell it all, and it makes a killing.
I like those Architectural Digest house tours of those like super out of touch rich people being like, yeah, and we just picked this up in France and have you seen the Architectural Digest tours?
Seen a lot of shows like that. Yeah.
It'd be fun to do some in your house.
These are the heads from Easter Island.
That one. And then what is the other? Oh, I did Punk'd recently. And not Punk'd. Sorry. I did Punk'd. That was my first job. I'm sorry. I know.
Punks.
I did, what is it? Cribs, MTV Cribs.
Okay.
And I watched, Martha Stewart. You've got to watch it. It's amazing because she so clearly does not want them in her house, and she cannot pretend to be chill in the slightest. And they're at her like 7th home in Nantucket or something, and they just left it all in. But she's like, okay, and so this is what I got when I went into Italy. Excuse me, sir, can you back up off the wall, please? Yeah, can you just back up? Like,
put the charcuterie board down.
And they left it all in. Fantastic.
It's so funny. Like, you're gonna need to take your shoes off. You're gonna need to take your shoes off. And this vase, I actually got when I was in Tuscany, and I'm gonna need you to put the footies on. Put the footies on, please. Thanks. Like, and they just left it all in. It's incredible.
Do you want us to ask you questions?
Oh, sure.
I was kind of curious about whether, there's things you've been asked a lot. Okay, you could go like, I grew up with Joan Rivers, Phyllis Diller, Toady Fields, and then you come out and you were a model at a department store. So was that helpful in the beginning? Like, you should, or were your looks kind of problematic or an asset in your mind?
That's so nice. I mean, model in a department store is not, we're not Naomi Campbell over here. This was like King of Prussia Mall in Philadelphia. Yeah.
But Tony Fields,
you worked
Tony
at Lady
Fields
Foot Locker putting shoes
had
on.
one leg. She had diabetes. She came out with one leg, and she was really. There were some very funny looking comedians, and when I was growing up,
I used to model the masks in Spencer's Gifts. I was an informal model, it was called. So the super annoying people that like offer you perfume when you walk into a department store, like, hey, want a migraine? I can help you with that. Or, you're just like walking around in a wedding dress. Like I was like 14 years old, walking around in a wedding dress. Like I did maternity at 15 years old. They give you like a pillow that's strapped, and I'm just like walking around. And asking people like, hey, do you want to go see some wedding dresses on the 3rd floor? And you would just all to women that were going through a divorce. Like no one goes to a fancy department store who has a happy marriage. So I'm just like, hey, want to go see a wedding dress? Like as your marriage falls apart. And it was actually, I was doing it for money. And it actually, I look back now and I'm like, it was before I had boobs. Hooters didn't take me. And I realized like so much of the ability to just talk to strangers came from that, because I had to walk up to strangers that wanted nothing to do with me, that quite frankly wanted me to be invisible and were like trying to get away from me. And I was like, hey, want to go? And I'd have to charm them and figure out a way to get them to listen to me so that I didn't get fired. But I think that did actually come in really handy. Also just the ability to be alone a lot. I mean, I think something that a lot of people maybe don't know, because, we only post the greatest hits on our Instagram of how fun our life is. But being a comic, you're just like alone a lot. We're in hotels alone. We're, even when we're with a lot of people, we feel alone.
I spent 36 hours in a hotel in Houston a couple of weeks ago because it was so crazy, rainy, stormy outside. I actually just walked around the hallway, but you go a little crazy just in a hotel room for a day and a half.
Plus, everyone knows you. So the second you go out, people go, hey. But I do a lot of
for that. Sorry, Spade.
No, I guess you're the guest.
No, my podcast doesn't do as well as yours. Go ahead.
Okay.
We'll check the numbers. You're probably you're probably closer than you think.
You've done 5,000 of them. It's hard to keep balls in the air for 1 million times. You've ultimately run out of, I would think at a certain point.
You guys did something really genius, though. You guys were like, we're only going to interview SNL people, and then we'll just do comedians. Like, I think for me, I just didn't believe that a woman talking for 2 hours was a viable business. It just didn't seem like that was something anyone wanted to hear. And so I think I always had like just all kinds of different guests to see what worked, and if we live here in Hollywood, why not get Hollywood guests? So it's like Hillary Duff and Miranda Cosgrove, like those numbers did super big, but then some comics that are huge didn't do so well. But it's just like hard to tell who's going to do well.
It depends who your crowd is. Yeah. We have people that surprisingly do well and surprisingly don't. And but I also like the randomness of yours, because you can just see someone that's interesting, like a Terminex guy, and go, I bet I could talk to this guy because something interesting about this. And then you can have a big star, so you can mix it all up and then just cover anything that interests you. We had a UFO guy on our other one. We have one on video called Superfly. We had a UFO guy on, and then we had this girl that was in that Nixium cult. And
yeah, she's my friend. Sarah's my friend. I was in the second season of that show.
Oh, were you in a basement?
I got obsessed.
Was Keith your guy? Is he a skateboarder?
Do you have are you branded? Are you branded? KR?
No, I would love to be in a cult, though. I just need someone to organize my life. I did try to get into Scientology when I first moved here, and they rejected me.
Right.
Really?
They reject people?
Swear to God. Okay.
Did they give you a reason?
I think
Too chatty?
That's it. They're like, this bitch cannot keep a secret. Like, it's so obvious that I'm a squeaky wheel, if nothing else. I have such snitch energy. A girlfriend of mine, Jennifer Goodwin, was my first friend in LA. She had just done a movie called Mona Lisa Smile, long time ago, with Julia Roberts. And remember when, if someone got the number 2 or 3 lead in a movie, they were going to be a star. There was this machine. They got the publicist and they got it was just, so Scientology would figure out who like the next person was going to be to like get it on the ground floor. Right.
Ooh.
So a famous Scientologist invited her to brunch, and it was at like a house. It was just an address. It wasn't like Shakey's Diner or whatever, you know? And we pull up, I go with her, and it is a castle. I think people don't understand that hate on Scientology. It's in a castle. And when you grow up poor and you see a fucking castle, you're like, I need to live there. I don't care. You take my plasma. I don't care. Fine. And so I was like, yes, I'd like to live in this castle for free. Like, I'm not allowed to take antidepressants. I don't have healthcare. Fine. And so we went in, there was this like amazing brunch. And also the reason Scientology is so freaking enticing is the beginning of it isn't that weird. It's like how to take control of your life and like write thank you notes and like, you know, it's all like beginner AA stuff. I'm in a 12-step program now. So it's a lot of like, it works if you work it, like, don't, you know, make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings. It's stuff that like, I'm sure the Stoics said this all much better. But
well, ask
Jerry.
But you know, but that's the serenity prayer is basically Stoics. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change.
Right, yeah.
You know, and the wisdom to change the things that I can't. So I'm in, dude. I'm like, I get an apartment, I get a job. The brunch had chocolate pudding. Like the guy from Lost was there. The Jorge. I'm like, if this guy can get on a TV show, like I'm in. And they just were not interested. And I tried to go back and they were like, we're good, basically.
A cute young writer actress from a great college. I can't believe it. What are they looking for?
They didn't want my after scale money from MTV. They wanted, you know, studio movie money.
You tell them you might do Cribs soon?
What's that?
You said I can get us on Cribs. I know a guy over there.
Yeah, so I did not get in. I'm glad that I didn't get in. I have some weird obsession with it. I had to stop smoking weed like a year and a half ago because I would get the first thing I would do when I smoke weed was Google the Scientology ships or try to figure out where they were. And I scheduled a call. There's
ships. Yeah, they have their navy basically. Yeah.
What?
They're in
the
international waters. The sea where there's no rules. It's crazier than the casinos with no police officers. They're out there and they operate under maritime law, international waters. There's no drinking age. There's no age of consent. None of it. I scheduled a Zoom call with a maritime lawyer to talk about it.
How are their carpets? What do they look like?
Wow. Did you, when you took DMT, did you see sentient entities?
Sentienties?
What's DMT? I don't know if I've taken that one. Dave, did you put that in my drink one night?
Yeah.
At Roku?
I have some in the car at Roku.
Well, what was your experience with psychedelics, and do you do them anymore? This is from Toledo, Ohio, a fan. Can you ask one?
Okay. I haven't done DMT. I am good friends with Joe Rogan, and everyone assumes that I like, you know, go to Peru every weekend and like puke up like ayahuasca. I've done ayahuasca once after my dad died. The first night I was like such a comedian about it. I was like, this is bullshit. It's all power of suggestion. It was like some shirtless guy like dancing in front of me. It was like the worst Chippendales performance I've ever witnessed. There?
Yeah.
It was just Bobby Lee dancing.
Bobby
with, like,
laying his wiener out.
It was a nightmare. And so the first one, not a fan. And then I puked, which was like I did this in my entire high school. I don't need to do bulimia again in my 30s. Like, so I finally want to keep food down, guys. This is not my brand at the moment. And the next night I actually had like just some clear thoughts. I didn't see gremlins or angels or any of that, or Grateful Dead bears or any of that shit. I kind of, I like to call it just updated my software on myself a little bit, which was just kind of like, I didn't understand why when I got a TV show and sitcom or whatever it is, I didn't understand why people didn't like me or were mad at me. Cause in my mind, it was like, you know, this was at this time. I mean, you had a show, obviously, Spade, you know, Dana, you were on the show at the time, but all my friends that were comics were like kind of mad at me or stop. It was just a bizarre time. And in my head, I was like, no, this is great. We're all going to get sitcoms. And, you know, the ships rise with everybody rises together. I don't know what the saying is. I'm sure it's a Stoic fortune cookie saying, but I felt like all these people that I was friends with and family with were like mad at me or something. And then I realized like, oh, I have such a scarcity complex too. We all do, that if that was happening to someone else, I'm sure that I would be a little petulant and jealous. And I was just able to stop being mad at people and just accept like,
it's the way it is.
How I'm perceived sometimes, which by the way, Spade gave me some of the best piece of advice between seasons of a sitcom when both of us were waiting to hear about the fate of our sitcoms. You called me, remember? And you went, so just FYI, bad news travels slow.
That is true. In this town, everyone wants to give you good news, and you gotta chase down the bad news. No one wants to be associated with it.
And it made me realize, like, look, comics, like the reason I love comics so much is because we're able to criticize everything together and see the world in the same way, you know? And then when I became the subject of their criticism, it was like, oh, shit. The thing that my only love sprung from my only hate kind of thing. So I was able to just go like, yeah, this will be over soon and someone else will, be the next person. And it feels temporary.
That is part of stoicism. That's the other part is all your enemies, all your things, everything is going to disappear. Everything really fast. It just keeps moving, moving, moving. So don't sit in it. But I never made a joke about you. I never would think to.
Oh, I was like a punchline on SNL a couple times, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you get too famous. You're show running 2 shows. It sort of puts you at the forefront, and then. But too young.
Like when you're like, oh my God, you're like SNL, like this is like the dream, and they're making fun of, like that's not how I wanted to be on SNL, like Tina Fey making fun of me, or that's not how I wanted to be on South Park. Like they made fun of me on South Park and recently on Big Mouth, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Fine, I pay my bills doing comedy, like
People say it's the highest form of flattery, and then you're like, but it kind of isn't.
Oh no, I had to go on Prozac as a result.
It is hard. It's hard to hear that kind of shit.
But it's like, if I'm going to give it, I have to also be able to take it. And, but I had some good breakthroughs on that of like, to be able to separate myself from like the self that everyone else perceives. I think when you guys know more than anyone, like it's public figures. Do you ever have to go like, that's David Spade, that's Dana Carvey, but I can like separate.
Yeah. And that was from the ayahuasca that got you into that frame of mind.
I just wasn't mad at everyone for wanting what I had. Because I was like, I wanted what other people had too, and there was such a scarcity complex at the time. It was before social media. It was before podcasts, we're all now working together. We're all just like a team at this point. We used to be like, is the executive going to pick me or her? And we had to be in competition. And now it's like, we're all going to work together. So it was just during that like icky time. That helped me. I've never done DMT. I don't think I think that's Molly. I did ketamine. I did ketamine microdosing. With a doctor, not just like street ketamine. During the pandemic, my hair was blue shortly thereafter. So, rave reviews. It helped me with some grief stuff. It helped with instant grief and forgiveness stuff. I did it, for like a couple months on and off microdosing, and it definitely helped a lot with grief. Because I couldn't really cry before that. I was told don't cry, big girls don't cry. My mom, I'm not a doctor. I don't like when people diagnose people without a medical license, but I was told borderline personality disorder, alcoholic. So she was very histrionic. If you ever needed anything, if I ever was upset, she took it personally, like she was a bad mom. So I had to take on her feelings if I ever had any feelings. So it really helped me like release a lot of old pain.
Wow. And now you're a mom.
Yeah. Can someone get a punchline in there?
No, you did good. You can talk. We can talk normal sometimes.
Oh no, people love this. Yeah, humans out there listening right now. Oh yeah, no, that's just under the heading of very interesting of someone doing psychedelics a little bit and having. We had Neil Brennan on, who's it changed his life. His whole special was about it, how it took away his depression by and large and his anxiety between ayahuasca and MDMA.
I guess I didn't realize that pain turns into anger, and I had a lot of just pain. Everyone's got their shit. Both my parents had strokes during the time that I had the sitcoms and stuff, which I think nobody really knew. Who cares? But both my parents had strokes without health insurance, and they were paralyzed basically from the neck down, both of them, and were in beds for like 10 years.
My God.
So I just had to it's fine. I just had to like live in nursing homes and like hospitals and ICUs and stuff. So I was on the road. I'd go from like show to hospital to show to hospital. And I guess I was just like, I didn't realize till after they passed, like how angry I was that, about all that. And I needed to cry instead of like, because when you're on stage, sometimes anger comes out, or what you're writing, or, it comes out when you least expect it. And I think angry comedy, no one really wants to see. And it's also an awful feeling. And I was writing from the angle of that. And ketamine just helped it. Like, I was in therapy. I don't know if it works if you're not with a therapist who's walking you through it all, but I did that plus EMDR, plus I'm in a 12-step program called Al-Anon. Because ultimately, like, acceptance is my hardest thing. I can't accept it. I can't accept that that's the truth. I can't accept that this is happening. And I'm going to give myself cancer being angry about it. And there was just like a surrender that came with it of like, this is how it is. I'm just going to ride the horse in the direction it's going. That's what ketamine did for me. I'm way less elegant than Neil Brennan about all this stuff. So just listen to the Neil Brennan episode for that.
I'm texting Jerry Seinfeld right now.
Yeah, and then listen to the Jerry one.
Can we just talk for? I don't want to go. Go ahead, you talk. Because we met. We had a funny gig together.
Yes, we did. I didn't know if you'd bring this up or not.
Well, I thought it'd be fun because it's just. I'll tell my side real quick, and then I want to hear from your point of view. So there was a really rich guy. I guess he's 95. He's got this gigantic mansion in Las Vegas. And they hired me. Will you come do a half-hour stand-up for the party? His wife was much younger. They're very sweet people. And so I show up, and it's like Scarface or something. There's mermaids in the pool and jugglers, and it's like a Fellini-esque circus. And I'm in a waiting room. Very, again, incredibly nice people.
Did you say in a waiting room?
Well, it was a part of another house.
It was a bedroom.
It was a giant bedroom. We're waiting for Whitney. Okay, Whitney's supposedly she's gonna go on, and then I'm gonna go on. We don't know where she is. And it was like, she's getting here soon. So then you came in, lots of energy, and you can tell your side of it. And then you change very, very quickly. We go out. It's a big pavilion. It's like 150 people. You can't really hear, and you're up there. And I see you're working. I wanted to know what the vibe was. So they said, well, put a mask on. So, sorry. In the meantime, Joe Rogan showed up. Sorry, I missed that part.
We were together. Yeah.
Yeah, you came in first. He was right after you. So Joe Rogan's there. So he's not wearing a mask. No one's wearing a mask. This tail end of the pandemic, whatever. So I go, I want to get up close so I can see how Whitney's doing. I couldn't hear what was going on. They wear this mask. So I'm going up to the crowd they go, so they won't recognize you. You're a surprise. They're right. So I'm going through the crowd with the mask on, and I bump into Joe, and he looks at me and he goes, "Get that thing off your face." And I said, I tried to explain. Well, they told me but anyway, I thought you did great. Because it was such a rough thing that you were bringing people out of the audience on the stage and interviewing them. I thought you did great. It was a rough gig, but nice people. Okay, now from your side, you're flying from Santa Barbara with Joe.
I flew. Okay, so it was Andrew Schultz's wedding, comedian, and I was with Lex Friedman. We're in the podcast space deep right now. So Lex Friedman, who also has a podcast, I brought him as my date, and I was like, okay, I can make this wedding and then fly I can make both.
Vegas. Yeah.
Yes. And then Rogan and his wife were at the wedding, and I was like, we have to leave. I have to run to Vegas to go do this corporate gig. And Joe was like, can I come with you? And I love when people get so successful that like something like that is just like interesting to them. It's like when rich people want to go camping, like, I want to know what it feels like to be poor. And so he's like, let me go see this corporate gig. You know what I mean? And so he comes, he's also just awesome. And like, he just loves stand up and,
oh yeah,
he's
it's fun to have more people go. Yeah.
And he's fascinated by like comedians, like, we do theaters, we do clubs, like, but a lot of our gigs are like, we've never performed in this space before. The, circumstances are wild. There's no sound check for this.
Private party, basically.
Private gigs you're less, on some level, they're paying you well and respect you and they know you're famous and they love you.
Bob Arum, who's this fight promoter, famous. Yeah. He was on a couch right up front, vaping pot the whole time. I was.
Everyone was shit-faced, like, and I just went full into like party clown mode, like the Darwinian, like, all right, you don't want to do it this way. We're gonna do this the easy way or the hard way. And usually at corporate gigs, I think they usually just want to be the star, and
we did fine.
You just flirt with the men and lap dance with the women, and I remember going like, I am such a huge fan of Dana Carvey. The fact that this is what he is seeing me do as a performer, it is so embarrassing.
Well, I felt the same way because Joe was so sweet, big hugs. We're having a love fest, and he's so excited to see me do stand-up.
He was so excited you were there. He was geeking out,
and I'm like, this is about as rough a situation. No one's fault. You explained it brilliantly. You have no chance to do anything. So by the time you went off and Joe was there, I went up, and it was the same kind of, oh my God, something that would get an applause break is, and they're talking, a lot of talking. These young women are talking, So I looked over because I was thinking, and thank God you guys had left.
Oh, hilarious.
When you left. Yeah,
because Lex Friedman
couldn't get out, right?
Joe Rogan has told this story, so I don't feel like I'm outing him. But Lex Friedman, who was one of those like high performer types, all these men that just feel like they need to like work out all day to prepare for like no one's drafting them, but they're in training. Like this new where guys
ready
are
for the big one.
Yeah.
They're in ice buckets, and I don't know what's going on. Like, is there no porn left to watch? I don't understand. I don't know, but all these men that are like we need to live forever, but all they do is work out. Like, I don't know, like 4-hour work week, but you like all you do is work till 2 a.m. But whatever, you have 9 podcasts. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's an Adderall thing or what, but Lex Friedman is like, he's a scientist who has a podcast, super like gets up at 5 a.m. to run and do burpees, and he's always in ketosis or some shit. I don't know. And he had been on a fast. He hadn't eaten for like 2 days and had a bunch of whiskey and was like puking in the koi pond at this billionaire's house.
Oh, he was outside on the grounds puking in the koi pond.
Okay. Remember there were
there was so much stuff out there.
Okay, these big fancy mansions are just like booby traps. I don't know if it's just like how, it's illegal for like billionaires to hunt poor people, but maybe they just put the Ring camera on and put some fountains out that are flush with the patio because everyone was falling into the koi pond.
Excellent.
Like you would just be like walking in the dark and just be like in a koi pond. And so I think he had done that and then was maybe puking. So I was like, we need to get out of here. But let's have the check. Send me the Venmo and then we'll see if it clears.
I was happy that you guys got out of town fast.
Like we had to get back, and then there was no plane to take us back.
I remember that
drive back to Vegas. It was like a whole sort of thing.
You had to get a car to drive back.
I remember you telling me that part.
I kind of love those corporate gigs though, because I feel like all of the maybe negative things that happened to us in our childhood, we can sublimate into something positive. Like I was raised by like truculent, distracted alcoholics. So sometimes when I'm in that situation, I'm like, I know what to do here. Like, this is actually where I shine, trying to get,
stay happy and stay positive. That's the first rule of a party. You're there not to bring them down or blame it on them. And I don't do many parties. The corporate dates are a little different in Vegas. They have real sound and everything. But a private party, it was just sort of a fluke. I ended up there. Oh, and Whitney Cummings is opening. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then Joe was there. It was just one of those Fellini-esque moments.
I had to like hang my head in shame and get out of there. Cause it's like, I'm meeting one of my heroes. And then I'm just like, he's going to watch me just do like crowd work and like twerk on.
I couldn't really, after the mask thing, I got back, I took the mask off. I couldn't really hear what was saying because it was boomeranging. The ceiling of this atrium was like 100 feet tall. So it was all
high ceilings kill things. People don't know. High ceilings are the worst.
But I thought
for comedy.
I thought there was something cool about them picking me and you. I was like, there was
a good mix.
They can have whoever they want, ultimately. But I was like, this is so cool. It made me feel very good about myself. And then I promptly
anyway, I'm sorry
gigs,
that
I was going to say before I let Whitney go, because we've taken over too long, but when I do a corporate gig, you sometimes feel like roughing it because they are paying you. And they try to make it so nice for you. But sometimes if it's a little tough, you go, hey, this is actually, like Whitney, if they don't have your carrot sticks, you go, you know what? I don't care. Let's just go. Let's plow through it.
Oh, can I do this really quick? What's in your rider? Will you read it verbatim?
No fucking chance.
Please.
3 Coca-Colas, Pellegrino. I didn't write it. I mean, I've had people go, we only have 2 towels.
Yeah,
I know. I'm like, what? I know.
2 towels.
Sorry, your ice bath. We couldn't get it on the truck in time, Whitney.
I don't know. Has this gone well? I can't tell.
You did great.
You're one of my favorite guests.
You're fucking hilarious.
Hilarious.
You have 5 jokes in every sentence.
I feel like Spade's already emailing. Like, I feel like Spade is just over here on like doing Facebook updates. Like,
no, I'm paid to do an hour. So at 1 hour 01, I just zonk out.
You should have somebody listen to this and then type it all out just for how you wove things. Some of your word packages. I don't know if you've used them before, but there was a lot of cool stuff in there.
I don't know. I feel like, okay.
Are we reviewing it right now?
I don't know. I feel like we could have lost the skateboarding stuff. Maybe the Joe Dirt stuff didn't I thought that was going to be a little more fun.
A little more potent. No, I thought it was all good and you did a great job. And I guarantee you people will say that. I
love the fact that we used to be judged on our work. Now it's just a personality audition. I'm like, how was my personality for the past hour?
This was a good first date. Everyone will fall for you.
If people just, human people out like we are, see your Netflix special, and you're just a civilian, if I saw someone on Ed Sullivan or Carson, they were so they get to see us as just regular quasi-wounded little puffy clowns with doing the best we can. And it's very interesting just to hear you talk, you know.
Can you imagine? Sorry, I know you have to go. I know you're not getting paid anymore. You can hop off. Can you imagine if podcasting happened? Can you imagine Rodney Dangerfield having a podcast?
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I tell you, I was an ugly kid. I I'll tell you, when I was born, the doctor slapped my mother. I tell you.
And the guest is like, when do I talk?
Show edge in the bag a little bit. Yeah, they all would have done this. It's a unique, bizarre thing. I think we're very fortunate to have it. You can have it, use it as how you like it. It can be just part of a very vast career.
It's on in the background. People listen, they drive.
They're driving.
Scream at their kids.
And you know what?
When we used to do radio, but when we did radio, we came with bits.
Yeah, you had to be on more.
We were really 6 a.m. and we were doing, this is just, every time I hang up, I'm like, was that so self-indulgent and boring?
No, you're supposed to talk. We talk too much. You got in there.
They like it as if we just were at Koi having dinner.
We really were. This is what we talk about. I last time I saw Whitney, I walked her to her car and we just talked for a while there. And she's very normal, very lovely, and very not always doing jokes. She's just a very lovely person. So I think on these, it does come up a little bit because people like to see it and hear it, but you're a very normal, nice person.
I saw you backstage at the Comedy Store and I wanted to be your best friend within 10 minutes because we were talking about some subject and you were just so completely, oh yeah, totally agree. I can't remember what we were talking about, but yeah, you just are interesting. You're an interesting person. You covered a lot in this time.
Maybe too much.
That's so Howard Stern. I feel like we've said it all. Maybe
we've said it all. There's nothing left to do. There's no stone unturned.
Left to say.
No, we had a million things to talk to you about, but unfortunately, we ran out of time.
I'll throw one out for you that you probably have an opinion about. On Instagram or whatever, the mom is like a celebrity mom. She's like 52 or 53. She's with her daughters about 14, 15. They're dressed alike. The mom looks just as fit. She's filled up whatever she's done. It's like she's like a teenager with her teenager. Anyway.
No.
You see a lot of those. I'm not talking about one person. See a lot of those.
Yeah, that's or good for you. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly good at branding. Maybe I need to make some matching onesies for me and my son, and I might,
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not really bothered by any of it. This is just comedy fodder. To each his own. What other people's opinion of me is none of my business.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like my mom drank while I just rolled around on the floor. This generation is like matching with their kid. Maybe we need to go back to just being drunks and ignoring our children. I don't know. It's all, there's no real way to move through the world anymore with any kind of dignity. So it's just a matter of how to be the least cringe you can possibly be and still survive, I guess.
And people always have a problem with it no matter what, as long as we know that.
Well, that's why I don't read comments about anything I do, because I already know myself. And if they criticize it, I go, well, of course.
Yeah.
Well, of course I sucked, so
yeah, totally. Like, we're our own worst critic. Like, I agree with you. I mean, I wouldn't be trying to get strangers' approval if I liked myself. So just, if I don't get your approval, don't worry, we're good.
All right. In summation, we all have problems, big problems.
Yes.
No, this is, by the way, I love this show. I hope it was good. Going on shows I'm a fan of is always a little nerve-wracking.
Well, I'll be a therapist for a second. What makes you think it wasn't great?
Don't start again. No.
No. All right, sorry.
No, it's more. I think it's like, I'm real friends with Spade, and I'm getting to know you, Dana. So
that's what's great.
Yeah, I'm like,
that's what's great about this. Yeah.
And I think people tune in because they want to hear you guys. I hope I didn't talk too much.
They hear us all the time.
Yeah.
No, we don't. This was great. I mean, sometimes people are very shy, and it's a little bit trying to get them to come out of their shell. And so you were just like, bam, it's great.
Oh,
but
gosh. Okay. I'll shut up.
Trying to think.
All right. Thank you, Whitney.
We'll
call us after, and we will take an hour 15 out of it.
Can I say one other thing I love, just to make everyone laugh about Spade? My favorite thing is what Spade calls women's garments and makeup and stuff. I'm obsessed. One time he was telling me a story about this girl, and he's like, we got along great, but it wasn't gonna, didn't seem like more was gonna happen. And then she went to the bathroom and she came out wearing a teddy.
No, I think I said nightgown, didn't I? Or I call it a teddy?
Well, teddy is funny. Nightgown's not as funny. Teddy is
what's
funny.
An older term?
It's like a sexy nightie.
No,
or
you made fun
That's
of
it.
me because you said, "What am I on my cheeks?" And I said rouge or something, and I didn't know what the names of all the makeup was.
Dana, for makeup, like, what goes here on a girl on the cheek?
Oh, rouge.
That's blush. That's blush.
Kylie Jenner rouge kit.
What goes all over the skin?
I don't know. My wife does it alone. I don't really see.
Yeah, thank you. It's personal.
I don't know, but yeah, it's we can learn.
What's this called?
What do you think it's called, Whitney?
What's that called? Just smoothing out the makeup? What's their official word for just rubbing your face?
It's all makeup.
It's
That's
like the color of your
one
skin.
word.
It's the color of your skin, and it goes all over your skin.
Powder. Right?
Base.
Base.
Is that it? Base. And then you put the eyelashes on and the lipstick and all this stuff. And then you're ready to go walk the street, make some money. You know what I mean? Make a couple bucks. Hi, I'm Bill Burr's brother. And I want to tell you, we love Bill Burr. We love everyone.
Oh, my God. That's so funny to me.
Okay, Whitney, I'll see you on the freeway.
Okay. Love you guys. Thank you.
Love you. Thanks for being on our show.
Dana Dennis Quaid is on the show this week. And I really like Dennis Quaid. What a stud, versatile actor, especially because he's playing Reagan now, which I wouldn't have seen coming.
He's got a new movie coming out where he plays Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
And he plays him at every age, basically. I mean, from 30 to the 85 or whatever it was. So yeah,
from 30 months
to have him.
to 85 years old.
It's like a real movie star. I mean, he came out in the early 80s and he's been just making consistent great stuff. Fun to talk to, super casual. One thing we must say to you, which is kind of humorous, he brought this really adorable bulldog.
Oh, right.
That was lying at my feet and it had its legs out. It was almost like on its back. And it was just sort of sleeping, I thought, and snoring. He said, no, I think it was a she. She's not asleep. It's just,
Peaches, maybe?
Peaches is just really content. So if you hear kind of heavy breathing, don't think anything's going on.
I was literally looking at Dennis going, are we going to keep going? So anyway, you might hear a low buzz saw.
Yes.
Meow in the background.
Yes, and we get to talk about The Right Stuff, which is still the favorite movie he was ever part of, which is like this classic first time astronauts, and it was his coming out movie and then he just had all these amazing hits.
Right. Even movies like, I'd say even movies, but like The Day After Tomorrow with Jake Gyllenhaal, I thought was cool. He does
Inner
good
Space.
movies. He's been around for a while. Good comedy. He hosted. Great dude. Good looking, which is the most important. And he was a lot of fun. He came in and we did it in person, which we don't always do. And we got to do that.
He has no airs about him. He's just like a casual dude. And I asked him toward the end, are you a pirate or a cowboy? And when you listen, you'll find out his answer.
Yeah. He was married to Meg Ryan. That's another piece of trivia. We had a great time with him. Here he is, Dennis Quaid. '90s paid for that.
90s, everybody, come on over.
Come on, boss.
Dennis, I'm great.
Yeah, come on down.
We all did better. Let me see.
The 90s. Are we always recording? We're always recording.
Okay.
What was your biggest financial decade?
The wisdom of McConaughey, ABR.
Always be ready?
Always be
I
recording.
do. McConaughey as a roller coaster operator. All righty, ride. That's all I got.
Well,
nice and quick.
I guess we'll have to talk about that too.
I know.
So you're still ripped?
You did.
What?
He's still ripped.
I'm vain.
Yeah, are you?
So I'm not going to give it up.
I'm vain. I'm not
vain
that ripped.
too. Can you tell?
Great.
Well, I'm a lighter frame.
This would be VA, Vain Anonymous,
At your
I guess.
peak musculature, were you like 5'10", 180 kind of guy? Because you look like you could beat someone up in a movie.
I'm 6 feet. And I'm 6 feet, 180.
6 feet, 180.
Yeah.
So I'm in a movie.
Always have been.
I'm in a movie with Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas, and they throw in punches, and it's just. So my character, I don't know how anyone thinks about me. My punch is like, dink. I go, fuck, guys.
You were in a movie with Burt Lancaster,
yes,
Kirk
I was.
Douglas?
Yeah. Their
that
last
would be
movie.
the Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday reunion.
Basically, yes. Yeah. It was an extraordinary thing to be around them. I mean, mind-blowing and ridiculous.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Especially Kirk.
Oh, Kirk, man.
Man, he was in shape when he was in his 90s.
Kirk, he was still doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He would do like max push-ups, max sit-ups. He had weights in his place. And apparently when the director would go in there, he just wouldn't have any clothes on. I don't even know if it was homoerotic. He just, I don't like to wear clothes. And he's doing push-ups naked. I go, I don't want to see that.
He and Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick
Jesus,
Van Dyke also was a nudist?
No, he's nearing 100.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, this is a good topic, actually. Actors who make it.
Mel Brooks is 98.
George Burns.
Wow. Lovitz ran into George Burns in Vegas, and he said, I got 18 months. It got down to like 18 months is what he felt he had. And he died 18 months later.
Was it some cigars? What did he die from?
Well, he was 100.
I know, but was there anything?
Yeah, but there's something that smoking eventually gets you.
Yeah, see, I told you, smoking kills. So that's an old Norm Macdonald joke. So you made it. We got Dennis Quaid here, everybody. We do an intro before, so don't worry. We're gonna fucking.
We got his height and weight. He's still ripped.
I know I'm in great hands.
Yeah. Nothing bad can happen here.
Nothing bad can happen here, and there are no rules, and we've already started, and we're halfway done.
You're almost out of here.
How are you, man? It's been a long. See, last time I saw you was on an airplane.
Yeah.
Coming from New York.
What were we doing? Was it some upfronts or something?
I was doing upfronts. Yeah, that's right. That's why we were both on the plane.
And we were, because we took a picture on the plane.
Yeah, and I'd just done that hoax.
Oh, that's right.
About that I'd had a meltdown on the set.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And then I had you like in a headlock, or you had me in a headlock on the photo?
3 days later, I released it that it was all a hoax. And
we were on set.
You did a hoax together?
He did a hoax online, and people thought he flipped out in the set, I think. That was it, right?
Yeah.
And that someone caught it from a camera.
Yeah. Funny or Die.
Oh, Funny or Die thing. Oh,
I'd had a serious meltdown on the set.
Very believable meltdown.
And then it turned out that it was just a comedy skit.
The last time I saw you, I don't know if we interacted. I was at the par 3 golf course in Studio City with Lovitz.
What's it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
is Lovitz still there?
Yeah.
He never leaves that place.
He's a caddy.
If there's pie there, he's there. We love you, John.
Yeah,
They
we
put a
love you.
pie
No, I
there.
talked to him earlier today, and anyway, he's
Tell Dennis Quaid.
hysterical.
Yeah, he gets excited.
But you were just booming, driving the ball.
And cursing in between.
Are you still any
I don't
good?
I could be.
Well,
Not quite there yet.
No time.
Yeah.
do you understand what it means to maybe at one point have a 1 handicap? Is that true?
Yeah.
That's like not normal for an actor.
Oh, it's called too much time on your hands, I guess.
It's caught between films.
Like, you have these deluded dreams of, wow, maybe I could actually go on the tour. But that was a passing phase. And, takes
Do you know
got
how
that
bad
good?
most
Jesus.
golfers are? I mean,
I know. I'm one of them.
horrible. No, but
I'm an 8 handicap now.
But that means, I mean, I would shoot 100. Okay, if I was playing by real rules on a real course.
Yeah. I have shot 100 before.
Oh, I feel better.
Sometimes you
just
do go by the real rules. You have to. I'm a 800 handicap. I don't know what that means, but I was told that early on. No, I actually try to play,
that's
but
about a 15-hour round.
yeah,
That's what
it? Yeah. You live here or not? So
I live in Nashville primarily.
Oh,
My kids are here, and so during the school year, I come back here
Okay.
every
Everyone
other
loves
2
Nashville
weeks.
now. What's the deal?
What?
Is the tax rate? Nashville, which I've played there, it's a great town.
It's
but-
fantastic.
And zero state tax.
They have 0 state tax. That's true. But
Fucking
it's the vibe that is going on there. There's a kind of an artistic collegial atmosphere that's happening there. It's not your grandpa's Nashville anymore. It's hard to find a hush puppy. In fact,
I see. Yeah.
and it's just great.
Yeah.
75% of all music done in the United States, regardless of genre, is done in Nashville.
That's what I would tell people. If you walk down the main drag and you go into a bar or whatever, you see like one of the best country western bands you've ever seen. And then you walk a few more feet and then you see a family doing it.
Yeah.
Great country western. So, and that's another one of your things we'll get to. You are a number 1 gospel song, Fallen, which I listened to today.
Yeah.
Great song.
Thanks.
And you really can sing. Do you ever
Sometimes.
Do you ever
But
go
do you
in
ever
the-
look at other bands of actors? Because the people, you have to earn a lot of respect when you're an actor. And guess what? I can do this other thing. Costner has one.
Mm.
Jim Belushi has
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves. So it's pretty cool that you've made
There's
a name.
quite a bit. It's either that or, athletes want to be actors or
Yeah.
they want to be basketball players and football players or, it's just something I've always done. Music is just something I've done since I was 12 years old. And songwriting, I knew I was never going to shred a guitar. So I turned to songwriting early. And then I've always had a band. And so it's just something I do.
So what hit you hard? Because we're pretty much the same age.
Yeah.
So that would be, but your kind of country western got you more like Johnny Cash, or were you blown away by the Beatles and all that?
All of that.
All of it. So
All of that.
Yeah.
I grew up in Houston. It's a pretty eclectic place. Actually, I grew up musically. And, I remember Elvis. I remember Hank Williams. I remember, my dad would croon around to Bing Crosby. That was his Elvis. And, Dean Martin. And then, the Beatles came along and
Everything.
that blew everything out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever go to Kid Rock's Country Shit Kicker Circus?
Yep.
That's a bar down there.
Yep.
It should be called Bubba Trump's, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is that in
I've been
He's
there.
got another one over at his place, too.
Oh, his house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fun.
His church or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to the old.
He's quite a guy.
He's the mayor of Nashville, pretty much.
He's the mayor of Broadway, that's for sure.
Yeah. There's actually every other Dana, if you go there, when I did the Ryman or whatever last time, every couple bars is a country western singers bar.
Yeah.
Like Aldine, I think there's one of
Yep.
those. There's
Yeah. Tanya Tucker's.
Is there
ready
Tanya?
to open
Tanya
it. Well,
Tucker.
she's gonna. It's Tanya.
It's Tanya.
But, she's
Dana.
getting ready to open
What is the
a place.
Tennessee accent? I always thought it was almost like an Al Gore or something. Or
Well, Al Gore is
Al
from
Gore
Tennessee.
is Tennessee.
Yeah.
I
It
just
is
say
true.
Umbrage kind of.
So many people in Texas came from Tennessee. It's kind of like very similar, I think. You know, it was the West back then.
So
it's an Andrew Jackson accent, I think.
Is that the president?
Knows that.
Well, I'm doing Andrew Jackson because no one can prove it's not a good one.
Yeah, you do a good one.
I am Andrew Jackson. I said, boy, I'm Andrew Jackson here right now. If you can't do the impression,
guy, you've done just about every president there is.
Between you and me, you did Clinton in a movie.
Yeah, I did.
Which was great. Yeah, I mean, you're.
It was fantastic.
What's interesting. Someone asked me and wrote a really good script as a live streaming show to do Perot in a biopic, like what you just did with Reagan.
Yeah,
and it was a really good script. I just didn't. Wouldn't even know how to approach that, but. That I don't really want to get into how you're, because you don't want to do a caricature. You want to be the character.
I voted for Ross Perot.
Can well bust my buns and bite me with a butterfly.
You're welcome, sir.
Can I do Ross Perot as James Brown
like
now?
You said, saving and to get around the economic crisis, it'll be fun. I'm surprised we even had a baby that learned to walk around here. It's hell so much.
The greatest character in the history of politics.
Yeah, it was fabulous.
In my act now, I do him as James Brown. Can I come in on the one? Can I come in on the one? See, he gets the joke.
I get it.
I got it. Okay.
Music joke.
Can I come in on the one? Yeah, it was a revolutionary thing that James Brown came. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, which creates this whole. Good stuff. Okay, well,
you did Reagan.
Sorry, David.
No, I want to talk about Reagan because
he does Michael J. Fox
getting pegged
from the movie Casualties of War. If you haven't heard it, you have to do it. If you've heard it, don't do it.
It's hard to get me out of my shell.
Michael J. Fox from Casualties of War.
Oh, remember Casualties of War?
Yes,
Sean
I do.
Penn.
Yes,
Sean Penn.
yes, I do. Yeah. Yes.
Hey, Sarge, what are we doing here exactly? You got to give me a minute on this here, Sarge. Come on. Mallory? I combined it.
Well,
that's all I got, Dennis.
The fact that it exists is
fabulous.
funny. It's fabulous that someone thought to do Michael J. Fox from that particular
movie.
And he did that movie, which was...
When you do it, it's not like an impersonation. It's like you are Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. Sean Penn, John C. Reilly. It was
I even see the haircut.
I think I wanted to be like Michael J. Fox when I got into showbiz, and then I gave that up quickly. But he was too famous, too good. He was great.
Well, let's give a little shout out to Michael J. Fox.
Yes, let's do it, man.
If you look at Back to the Future and how hard it is to play that part and how brilliantly he did it, it's amazing. He
had to go back in time,
and many, many other films. So
he's besides being an incredible person, he really has been. He's love the guy.
Extraordinary.
What about this Reagan thing? Let's talk about that.
The Reagan thing.
You played Reagan.
First of all, contextually, it's interesting that this is now probably started 2 years ago or whatever. It's coming out.
Started really 6 years ago.
Yeah. So this is the most tumultuous time in the history of American politics by any measure.
Yeah.
At the very moment we're doing this podcast. And your Reagan biopic is coming out August
30th.
Okay. So right after the Democratic National Convention.
I guess so, yeah.
Do you
think they're going to close with the screening of the Reagan?
Yeah, Biden, here's the biopic. Dennis Quaid is going to... What? I tell you, come on.
Hey, Reagan's here.
Let's get real. The fact of the deal is, come on. There's no doubt what we did there in the people's spot. Do you think you have the cognitive discipline to be president? Yeah. Sorry, he's my new toy. But so Reagan, let's start you did Clinton.
I did Clinton.
And
that
you won
was
awards
back,
for that.
2005, something like that. And I actually played a George Bush type character in American Dreams.
That's right.
With a Z.
You weren't technically George W., but you were George.
But,
so how did that guy sound?
He kind of, sort of. I can't even go there anymore. He kind of, sort of sounded like George Bush.
Right.
And then, you got a Cheney character, So it's pretty obvious. But then I was offered Reagan, I guess this is 2018, something like that. And he was my favorite president, and he's like Muhammad Ali. He's like known
sure
all over the world and like this. So it took me a while to say yes because it was just scared to death to play him.
And it seems like you were the perfect choice. I mean,
I didn't see it that way.
Well, you have kind of a head. I mean, there is
a big head. Is that what you're trying to get to?
Your head is
square jawed. You know, it's like I can't play Reagan. But you mean you kind of you were physically they could kind of.
Yeah, well, I said we're both actors. We both have sunny dispositions, I think. But it was like everybody in the world knows what he looked like, sounded like, and I just didn't really feel. It was just
It's a tough one.
A tough one to take on.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Oh yeah.
So I thought about it for a while, and then because where's the way in? You don't want to do an impersonation.
No.
That's pretty easy. And
Nancy and all that.
That's right. And so it took me a while to really kind of get into who he was as a person. And I went up to the Reagan Ranch, was Western White House back there, and it's not a public place. His friends bought it to keep it as it was. Their clothes are in the closet there. You expect them to come back any second. They didn't change a thing.
Interesting.
And you go up 5 miles of the worst road in California and get to the top, and I realized that Reagan was a humble man. He wasn't a rich man, and he. They had a king size bed, but it was 2 single beds that were zip tied together.
Jesus.
They did have GE. They had GE appliances. That's from
General
the spokesman
okay.
for GE.
Money bags now.
And his bookcase was there, which had every book he'd ever read, going back to when he was 9 years old. And there was just a feeling there that you could just feel his presence in a way. And his Secret Service agent, John, was kind of the caretaker of the place. He told me all kinds of stories about him. And that's when I decided, I'll do it.
He's still guarding it, even though Reagan's gone. That's nice.
John is gone too. He passed right before we started shooting because we wanted to put him in the movie. But
one thing that's interesting to me is being around during that time, and Reagan was hung in effigy over, they wanted a nuclear freeze, and no, we're going the other way.
Yeah.
and now he's become so bright and shiny that even the New York Times will refer to him how he dealt with Israel once, and so and Fox News likes him. I mean, he's become this character that sort of transcends politics in a way.
Yeah, there were Reagan Democrats that came over at the time, but he was. If you remember those times, he was called a warmonger. He's going to get us into a nuclear war for sure.
Yeah.
His economic policy was just for the rich, and he didn't care about the working man. And kind of like what's going on today in a sense. But he was who he was, and he also he knew how to lead. Something in him knew how to lead.
He was tough. I mean, right in the first part of his administration, the air traffic controllers went on strike.
Right.
And he fired all of them.
Yeah.
That was like a tough thing at the time.
Yeah. I mean, he shut down the airspace, in the FAA, and that had never been done. An entire agency fired all of them. And I think that's when, in fact, him doing that actually made the Russians think that this guy is he's crazy. We better watch out. And Reagan won the Cold War. I mean, along with the Pope and Lech Walesa, yes, but it took a Cold Warrior like that to deal with the Russians because they respected him.
Yeah,
they thought. There was 80% thought, oh, well, he's reasonable. And that 20% they thought, well, he might just, if we're not careful, he might do something
we not
regret.
Good. Yeah. One thing that I think in terms of playing him, I wonder what you think about this, because watching all these different debates, different politics these days, and Reagan had a thing, and he did it with Carter, and it seems to speak to him so much that he would never get angry, and if he was misrepresented in his way, in his mind, he would say, well, there you go again. Yes. It's the most benign, likable way to say, you're lying, motherfucker.
Yeah.
There you go again.
The best one was in the debate with Mondale, when it was about his age. He said, I will not, for political purposes, exploit my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Brought down the house.
And it brought down the house. Yeah. Even Mondale couldn't help it. He cracked up. and then Reagan did a thing that I'm sure you will recognize. He did a Jack Benny. Because he had them laughing, and he just picked up his glass of water.
Oh, and just did a
soaked it in.
Stillness.
Just drank to pause so it would
killed.
continue.
It's called killing.
It's a privilege kind of to inhabit him for a while. I mean, he just comes off so likable.
Yeah. He was everybody's dad, I think, to the boomers especially, and that's for worse, better or worse. There's a lot of people who still,
sure.
You can't mention his name and they'll kind of fly off the wall.
This seems like a nonsense.
But he was either your good dad or your bad dad.
Or bad. Yeah, I ran into Patty Davis right after 9/11 at a gym. And she was, I know, I'm just remembering this now. And she goes,
tricep machine.
I know this might come off weird, but I kind of wish Daddy was in the Oval Office now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that weird.
Well,
that would be great.
There was a reason the Iran hostages got released the day of his inauguration.
I know.
Because the Iranians didn't want to deal with Reagan.
Well, he was the kind of guy, we will not negotiate
with hostages.
And Jimmy Carter's like, well, if we're nice to them, if we're very nice, maybe they'll release the hostages.
Yeah. They'll be reasonable.
They'll be reasonable.
Like us.
Yes.
I think that's what,
That's the problem.
Well, with Americans, we're like that. We grew up like that, the golden rule and all that, what we get taught, and that we think the whole world is the same way.
Like Leave It to Beaver.
You can reason
best.
with, It's an episode of Leave It to Beaver where you could talk to Gaddafi and reason with the guy, and you should be more like Warren Beatty, if you want to protest. But his cousin, but
we get played that way.
They looked alike, but there's really bad people, bad leaders of nations out there, and they've grown up in a culture that's based on political violence or personal violence or whatever, and that's the way they act.
Right. So I agree with you. You got to play it a different way, because we always think if we do the right thing, they'll do the right thing, and that doesn't always work. And they sort of show their cards. They're not hiding it.
No, they don't.
Since we are the world, literally, there is in the DNA in Americans a lot, in the people who fought to get here and all the immigration we had and all our ancestors, that we want freedom above everything. And we don't want anyone to tell us what to do. I think if the government had said, well, would you take the COVID shot? You don't have to, but we'd kind of like you to. People might have said, okay. But once you tell a certain kind of American, hey, man, fuck you. It's like there's a rebellious side to us,
Yeah, there's true. I am that too. I'm not a very good rule follower.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
You seem like
I don't know if it's based on personal freedom or just, I don't know.
Well, when we grew up, it was question authority. That was the bumper sticker. Whoever's the authority, just question them. They work for us. Remember, it's our government.
Yeah, Watergate. that did a lot after that. And Kennedy getting shot. Bobby Kennedy getting shot. Martin Luther King, and then Watergate.
Yeah,
pretty much. We were. I think America was kind of walking wounded.
That's what
back then.
That was our formative years. David's a little younger, but
it's true.
That informed
young,
everything.
That's what we came into.
David's a lot younger, but
I'm like a child here.
Yeah.
I'm like with my two dads.
So when people,
no, I'm old and gross.
well,
Ask
listen here, son.
anybody.
He's like
Go to
my
the
little
comments.
brother. He's very bright. So, David, do you have any questions?
What I do is I take it in. I think we all got introduced to Dennis during the Let's Give him something to talk about video. That's where I first was introduced to you. Do you remember that video?
The something you talk about with Bonnie Raitt?
Yes.
Yes, I remember that very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You look very cute in that.
I was,
Okay.
it was a lot of fun.
But a great
Bonnie
musician,
Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt, and your music guy. How do you even get involved in that?
At the time,
She's a fan.
I had a band,
Oh,
the
okay.
Eclectics, that was also Bonnie's road band.
See, nobody knows that.
So-
That's a good way.
How
Put
was
that
Bonnie?
together.
What?
How was Bonnie? She's
Bonnie-
a kid,
She
right?
seems cool as shit, huh?
The most, I would have been a fan of her since I was like working at Astro World in Houston. Like
that a
that's when her
hamburger
first
place?
record came out.
Yeah.
You know, that blues record
Mhm.
that was like, man, it was like so different from anything in music. And I just fell in love with her and her music. And then, you know, that she was one of the first people I actually ever met. I met her like when I got to LA about
Mhm.
very soon after that. And she was just so nice. And you cannot give her a compliment. She just,
No
that's her only
pretense.
fault. She won't take a compliment.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
will not do it. And,
Not me.
but,
That's what's great about you. You took a compliment.
By the way,
Got-
you got into one of her best songs. That song is great.
this song is
That
fantastic.
song is unreal.
No, she's brilliant.
And that was before. Then I did a movie called Something to Talk About.
Oh, you
That's
did?
And
right.
it was in that. And but that was just a coinky dink.
Oh.
That had nothing to do with.
Does this ring true with you that I was with Bonnie Raitt at an SNL party and Eric Roberts and Christopher Walken were sitting next to each other?
Wow.
And Bonnie
You're taking
Raitt,
me back to the Carvey
Bo-
Central.
Ah.
Bonnie Raitt looked at them and goes, God, I feel like I'm having sex just looking at them. I thought that was a really funny line.
Yeah.
You know, and they were kind of in their prime. You know, it was,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
they
cool
looked like
dudes.
badasses. You
Yeah.
know, it's like,
Well, I was just talking to Dana about when you did SNL, and it was probably right when I got there. I think you said right when Sandler got there, right? Because
Sandler was
I think
in
it
that show.
December.
Yeah. There was the Christmas show.
Christmas show.
Yeah,
that was he
1990.
just joined.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big show. It was a great show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we did dysfunctional.
Please don't touch me.
Leave me
I'm doing
alone.
fine. Just
Please
go away.
don't.
I'm
Leave
doing
me
fine.
Oh, I remember that one.
The family Christmas.
Yes,
Dysfunctional.
We just talked to
Dysfunctional.
Bonnie and Terry
Yeah.
Turner, the writers who wrote that.
Yeah, they were just
one
on
of their
it.
favorite sketches they ever wrote on SNL.
It was beautiful.
That got
Yeah.
stuck in my head. That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
And you played the crazy pilot,
hmm
and
That Mike Myers was on the show at that time.
yeah,
Did you do
he did it.
Sprockets?
I was on Sprockets. Sprockets.
Did you touch the monkey?
Yes.
You did touch
Yeah.
touch my
Shit.
monkey.
Ja.
What
That
a
was my
great-
favorite part of that. The arbitrary.
Ich habe ihn fast on Samstagen du bist eingeladen.
What a great time to be on the show, though. How fun. Yeah.
That
what
was a great time.
Who was your music? You remember?
The Neville brothers,
Neville Brothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that because of you?
who were, I guess it was, but I didn't ask them. You know, that was all done. It was mysterious how that all
Oh,
happened.
made
But
sense.
yeah, they were.
Yeah,
I
what a
love
great
that
time.
music.
Finished, yeah, Pilot Renegade guy, and then Mustang Calhoun. So they did get you on a 6-string. It's a pretty funny name for a country western guy or whatever.
Mustang. Calhoun.
Mustang Calhoun.
Mustang
Could Still use it. MC.
So what do you want? I just finished up with Reagan a little bit.
Yeah, I love
what do you?
Reagan.
What's your hopes for that? Have you seen it? Are you feel great about it?
I've seen it. Yeah, and you know, we finished shooting like almost 4 years ago.
Oh, for
In fact,
real?
4 years ago will be this October when we
Because of
started
COVID
shooting
stopped
it.
the whole thing.
And so it's, you know, it's been a journey. And then,
The movie got COVID.
yeah.
That's never happened.
Yeah, we got COVID. Like,
Did you get shut down?
I see the scene where I got COVID in this.
Oh, really?
That's the assassination.
Oh, yeah.
See.
That's the worst kind.
Yeah, in the hospital, you know,
Oh,
you're getting
shit.
by
Yeah.
a gurney past all these extras like
Oh,
that
really?
at 2 in
You
the
know-
morning in a basement with no
And that's when it was.
ventilation.
You must, when
the
this
entire
happened
crew had it.
with Trump, you must know more about assassination attempts just from knowing about the movie. So was there any questions?
That was the last time a president was shot, was Reagan.
Yeah, it was Reagan.
And you do it, you do him young, you're doing him middle age. I mean, that's also a huge challenge to do that,
I play him from 35, when he first came to Hollywood, through when he said goodbye to the American people in his letter. That letter, when he had diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Beautiful letter. I mean, only Reagan.
It's an incredible letter.
Yeah, it's just so human.
Yeah, and it was, it was a challenge. I mean, first just the voice, because in his younger days he's like way up here. We all have a kind of a higher pitch, and eventually get down to
I totally agree
where it's well, and it's that, and just meeting so many people that were close to him. And one thing I found was that even to those who were very close to him, probably including Nancy, there was kind of a private place in him that was kind of unknowable.
A little bit of, there's something
that was kind of separated and distant from the rest of the world.
Nancy was, who plays Nancy?
Penelope Ann Miller.
Oh, okay.
And she is Nancy.
She's in Nancy. Because she was in The Enforcer, right? When it came to Ronnie.
A lot of people would think that, but no, they just...
or even just...
They had... There would have not have been a President Reagan without Nancy.
Okay.
So because she was just there for him. Mm-hmm. She really dedicated her life to their love and his aspirations, and but it's she wasn't what I call the enforcer or anything like that.
Well, I think that she protected him in a different way. Like when Reagan went to Japan, it was a 7-day trip, and Nancy insisted first they go to California, rest for a day, or then they're in Hawaii. Then they're in Guam.
Brian, I read about that.
Rather than just like when they're whipping Biden around, I mean, that is tough at 81. You go there and back.
Right.
She was protective that way. But so was the assassination attempt, did you act that out?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah, we recreated that.
Okay.
And that
was James Brady shot and then also someone else, right?
James Brady, and then also the Secret
Service guy. Okay.
The famous shot where he did
takes it in the gut like that. And, the shot that got Reagan and was actually a ricochet off the car.
Oh.
Either off the bulletproof glass or the metal. And he was going like this, saying hello to everybody. And it caught him right here.
Oh.
And
under the arm.
It wasn't like 4 minutes of, while they clear everything. They just put a hand on top of his head, shoved him
Every
in there
second
on top
counts.
of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he got up and he said, "Gosh, you almost broke my ribs." He was admonishing the Secret Service for that. And then, they were going to the White House. They weren't going to the hospital because he was okay, untouched. And then about 4 or 5 blocks down, he coughed up some blood. And that's what made him go to the hospital.
Okay.
And
he still didn't feel. Oh wow!
Yeah, and if they hadn't done that, he would have died for sure. The bullet had gone here. It was just the smallest, tiniest little hole, but it had stopped like a 1/4 inch from his heart.
Jesus,
and,
it's like Trump with the
Trump with the ear. I also thought when they took him away, he doesn't know there could be one in his back. If you're in shock and your adrenaline, I wasn't sure everything was okay.
Yeah.
Same reason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you never know. And, I think those guys on the ground, they took 4 minutes, but they did the right thing, thinking about other shooters. Mm-hmm. It seemed to me, too, that when they got him on the ground, what they did, because he said, "I want my shoes."
Yeah.
I think they basically ripped open his shirt.
Yeah.
And checked him everywhere for any kind of wounds that he might have. Before they got him up, knew they could transport him because if somebody's shot,
his shoes were what? He just fell.
Move. What?
What was the shoes?
Well, they must have taken off the shoes. I don't know. Maybe they took his
when
pants
they
off.
Him, maybe they were loafers when they grabbed
they're
him.
Giving him a
somehow
quick
his
check.
shoes got off.
His shoes got off because I think they took them off.
Yeah. Oh, they just took them off. Took the tie off. They're just looking.
Yeah, they were just looking for any kind of.
Yeah. And then they're like on top of him going, okay, we got to make a move now.
Yeah.
And then they got a plan. Obviously,
then they heard about shooter. They said the shooter's down.
Right.
That was about 45 seconds.
Did it surprise you that the guy got close and wasn't seen?
Incredible.
It's incredible. When you were seeing this video, I don't know if it's a policeman or the Secret Service, the sniper looking at the bad guy, let's say, and he sees him, aren't you allowed to just shoot if the guy's got a gun? You see a guy laying there with a gun. Do you have to wait to get orders? Or, because remember, he looked up, then there's a shot, then he goes down and hits him. But if you've got him in the sights, he's wearing camo and he's got the gun. So is it just a rule you can just take a shot?
Well, who knows?
There's a person here between the three of us that is qualified to play the head of the security team in a biopic.
Or we're going to write a report. This is a commission. With three, you have a commission, right?
You'll be the hard-boiled guy coming and go, what the fuck went on here?
This is called...
I want this perimeter locked down.
We can take all the lines from every movie we've done.
Three dipshits.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Who's your agency? CAA, UTA? Just put it in their ear.
Yeah.
This has got motion picture written all over it. But yeah, we'll find out.
We cracked the code right here, and everyone's like, wow, no one thought of this.
Going to come out August 14th.
Yeah, so everything we say now will be
There'll be people falling asleep on the freeway.
It was like, what were they thinking? So I think we better shut up right now.
It's impossible. No, it'll still be going on, knowing the way it works in America.
All I can say is thank God we can laugh about it as far as Trump goes. I mean,
absolutely.
But the firefighter who lost his life. That's
we talked
it the
about
same
him
bullet?
Yesterday, trying to protect his wife and daughter.
I'm trying to figure out where he was. Was
he directly behind
a grandstand over between him and the shooter? I don't get it, but
he would have been.
I mean, the guy dove on his family
I know
when things came up, and it's
because of all the. Oh, he's okay. No one knew right then. No, someone was not okay.
Yeah.
You know, when they get Trump out, you think he's okay, but no one knew if someone got hit.
The randomness of human existence, it's just so tragic.
Yeah, it really is.
And heroic, of course. The instinct, you always think the impulse would be to dive on your loved ones, but he actually did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
easier said than done.
Himself. Yeah.
I think when I watched that, or when I was seeing replays, it was so weird to see if Biden or Trump, if something happened to them on live TV, it would be so disturbing it's so weird because, it was not since Kennedy where it was like really, but no one really saw that. They saw a video later, but to see it happen in real time, it would have shook the shit out of anyone.
We all know it would have been the most gothic thing. I talked to a military guy, a friend of mine,
especially kids.
What would have happened would have been beyond what we can imagine.
Yeah.
And with bright color 8K television globally.
It would have been
terrifying.
It's just, we're all a little still shook from it. I definitely was adrenalized after I saw that.
It would have been one of those things you could never unsee.
What was your first bit? I'm going to get away from this because you guys obviously don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, but it's the Ronald Reagan extravaganza picture, August 24th.
Yeah.
But, I'm very proud of the movie, to tell you the truth.
Of course.
And,
that speaks volumes.
With editing, and we try. I don't see it as political. The film, it's about a man's life.
Human. Yeah.
It's not a total love letter.
Mm-hmm.
Reagan missed, the way his response to AIDS at the time was
behind the eight ball a little bit,
wanting. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, I think he came around about it, but the initial response was not there. Iran-Contra, I don't think he was involved in it, but it was on his watch.
Yeah,
he delegated a lot, and I think he would say things, and then those below would carry them out. And so there's some things which which were not the best, but overall, I myself, I think he was the greatest president of the 20th century. He and maybe Franklin Roosevelt.
Well, he was charming. And even going back to this, but after he got wounded, And just again, very Reagan. I'm sorry, Mommy, I forgot to duck.
I forgot. Yeah,
I mean, just all.
But he did bring unity to a nation, and he brought us back. We were a declining nation. Everything. It's so strange about how today is so similar. Mm-hmm. Carter was in there, who I voted for too, by the way. Because after Watergate, you wanted somebody out. We wanted somebody outside of Washington.
Nixon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Carter, like, he gave away the B-1 bomber. The economy was really down the tubes, mm-hmm. and
crazy.
It just 20% was the interest rates back then. And that may have been caused by the Vietnam War, not just Carter's administration.
The 70s was an odd decade.
It was, but we felt like we were a nation in decline, mm-hmm. and Reagan came along and really made us feel proud to be Americans again.
Well, and also there's this great picture. Tip O'Neill was the leader of the Democrats, and then Ronald Reagan, and they would go in and have a drink and tell dirty jokes. Yeah. And then Reagan would say, "What do you need?" They'd negotiate, and there's a picture of them coming out just laughing their asses mm-hmm. off. And that's like as if that would be, the Speaker of the House, I don't know, Schumer and whatever, Trump, or being friends. So he did rotate that a little bit, and he negotiated with the Democrats.
Yeah, it'd be like Nancy Pelosi and Trump.
Yeah, laughing
and getting together for a beer on a Friday afternoon. And that's basically the way it was. They even said at the beginning that, we're going to be bitter enemies until 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then we're just a couple of Irishmen having a beer.
Yeah.
And they were.
I did like that Biden called Trump. I do like when there's some normal things happen in the world. Yeah. And
I did too.
It just drops it for a second, and it's not going to go away, but you just go, okay, so we have real people trying to be real people for a second.
Yeah, that was a time back then, which I think Tip O'Neill and mm-hmm. Ronald Reagan mm-hmm. kind of exemplified that.
Yeah.
I think that's what we need to get back to, at least, to be able to talk back and forth.
That would be great. I don't know.
Sounds so simple.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we pass each other in the street every day. Yeah. We go into each other's businesses, no matter what side, and we're polite to each other, treat each other like human beings, until you find out they're a label, and then all of a sudden they're demonized.
Well, whoever made social media, I guess, programmed the robots to get more views, and the robots figured out the way to get more views is to get people angry.
Yeah.
And so, so anyone who doesn't know they're being hypnotized into darkness on the World Wide Web, at least be aware that it's trying to feed you what gets you going. So I don't have any answers. But
you hit something right on the point there. Mm-hmm. And that starts, I think, with kind of self-examination.
I tell every human being I meet, whatever their opinion is, okay, now read the opposite.
Yeah.
Read the opposite.
Yeah.
I juxtapose the Wall Street Journal and New York Times.
Yeah.
They're just, in the morning, it's $100 a year each. I just go, what does the New York Times take? What's the Wall Street Journal's take? I find myself watching stuff I disagree with more because I know my opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
But if everyone would say, okay, I'm going to just read the opposite for a week.
I might learn something.
Yeah, that's all.
You know what I mean? Even if it's that, why is the other side not even covering this? Sometimes.
Well, censorship by omission is the greatest use of censorship.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'd like to see at least more of that.
Well, more awareness. I mean,
more in coverage.
Yeah,
more reporters. People who call themselves journalists actually not giving you their judgment mm-hmm. of something that's putting themselves in the story to actually tell the story.
To humanize it.
I think that is I agree 100%. That's called journalism, I think.
Yeah.
There's a quote by Thomas Sowell, who's an economist I always like in terms of the whole political theater and the intensity of it. There are no solutions, only trade-offs. We are always trying to make better, but there's not like one side has it all perfectly worked out. So there's no reason to demonize the other side.
Yeah, I mean, that's what our country's based on. Yeah. And they called it compromise. Right from the very beginning.
You like equality, I like freedom. Let's work out a relationship, how they work together. I would run on a ticket with you. Just for you would run for governor. I'd be lieutenant governor in California.
Oh, we could switch it up.
I'm just throwing it out.
What do I do? Look after
I think
this
in
dog?
California you have a better chance. In Texas, I would have the better
in
chance.
Texas.
In
Well,
Texas, yeah. But you do such a great George
I'd go
Bush
to Texas,
that you would be.
and I would just do George W.
Yeah, most of your
I think
impressions are
Lieutenant
Say hello to
Governor.
Governor Quaid. That sounds good, doesn't it? I like being W because he was our frat boy president, emotional, and just that kind of thing, you know. He's just a cheerful.
You get me every time with that. Then you also delineated between him and the father, George the One.
Well, education, doing well down here. Quaid, podcast, fly, wall, Spade, Greg, Heather. Somebody in a room.
1,000 points of light.
1,000 points of light coming at you. No, but to the point, that was the most extreme. If you reverse extrapolate, whatever, interpolate. I made fun of him. He lose the election. And he calls me, and we become friends. People go, but I didn't know him while I was doing him. I didn't know.
Well, the impression's so silly and dumb. It's nothing. SNL was
It
like
was
that.
so perfect.
Yeah.
If he'd had Twitter back then, he might have been Dana Garney doing that impression of me right now on Saturday Night Live, right, waving his arms around like a spastic monkey. #dick. Could have been, but there was no Twitter.
Yeah.
So I was out there. But anyway, so we all hope for a better time. I'd like to talk about the right stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say, do any of these movies ring a bell?
Possessed by that movie.
Right Stuff.
I love it. I mean,
The Right Stuff is
that your
my favorite movie I've ever done.
Really?
Until Reagan, actually. It kind of, after 40 years, that spot's been taken over. I judge the movies I judge by the time I had on them. You know what I mean?
You mean the shooting?
Yeah, well, the time that I had experienced while making it.
From the beginning to the end, right?
Martin Sheen said that to Rob Lowe and all the Brat Pack guys, and he says, that was his advice. You just think about, do you like who you're working with? Do you like the job you're doing? Don't think about outcome and all that other stuff. So that's really interesting that you loved making the right stuff.
Well, I was from Houston, which was Space City, and I was right there first grade when they rolled in the TV so we could watch Alan Shepard go up. Capsule. Gordo Cooper was my favorite astronaut. He was the youngest. He was the rock and roll astronaut. And I love that name, Gordo. And then, the book comes out and I read it like in 2 days. And if they ever make a movie of this, I would, I want to play Gordo. And I was not Dennis Quaid back then.
Sure.
You'd done some work.
I was just trying to get a job, you know.
That's a while back. Yeah.
Basically.
So you had done a few things and you were lucky to get in, just even an audition, right?
I got in for the audition because somebody dropped out of the role. And then I got in there and I got the part. And then it turned out that Gordo Cooper lived 3 miles from me in L.A., over in the valley.
Oh.
So I called him up.
Oh, you got to see him?
And met him. And then he turned me on to a flight school in Van Nuys, and I got my pilot's license while we were making the movie in secret. And
did that come naturally to you? I mean,
no, I was afraid to fly. Actually, before that, I felt like you're going to fall out of the sky.
I still I don't really like it.
Yeah, but I had this teacher. My instructor was Bud Wallen. And he was
Bud,
3 years.
By the seat of your pants.
He was 3 years younger than aviation itself. And
really?
You could solo if you want to, but you don't have to. That was his thing. And it was he had me through it. He
had that on the side of the plane. You can solo if you want to,
but you don't have to.
That must be scary as shit.
Bud,
to solo.
Seat of my pants falling.
It was after I got my license. Really,
is it really
it's
scary
just a
to go
license
solo?
To really scare yourself.
I mean, the first time, even if you're good, is it just terrifying?
It's a license to kill yourself.
Yeah,
until you get like an instrument rating on top of that, because
it's too scary. Because anything can happen. You're by yourself. What if you didn't feel?
I was
good?
lucky. But John Kennedy was kind of God love him. I don't think he really had any business flying that night.
Yeah,
it's
a
common thing of the disorientation.
That was during
you
SNL.
You can't tell up from down.
No, yeah.
You're just completely
like when you do your instrument training, they put a hood on you. You take off and they put a hood on you that's like this. Just, covering. The only thing you can see is the dashboard with the instruments. You can't see outside, and you have to fly for maybe 2 hours like that. And then they you get 50 feet above the runway and they take it off and you see if you're there.
Did John F. Kennedy Jr. get that?
But you have your inner ear is telling you that you're in a turn, that you're at an angle. And so you're constantly trying to level what you think is the wing, but your instruments are saying you're straight and level.
Wow.
But you're going to trust your inner ear.
Damn.
So you're trusting
That's the thing you have to get
Note
over.
to self, don't take pilot lessons.
Don't leave the house.
But that was something else. And then Chuck Yeager was on the set every day.
So he's arguably like the coolest, badass test pilot, or is the test pilot of all time.
Nobody will ever touch him. He was
Fearless.
checked out in 192 separate aircraft. It was, and he locked us in a room and told us his whole story, going back from when he was a lawnmower repairman in West Virginia. Farm kid to like World War II and 5 shoot downs in World War II and the whole test pilot stuff.
The X-15, I think, the first speed of sound.
Yeah, he never. That was the X-1. X-15, he never flew.
Oh, okay.
But he was out of it by that time. But he was an incredible human being. It was like hanging out with John Wayne for
the thing about
4 months
that
or
book
something.
and that movie. It's just so interesting when you don't know anything and really get just the idea of these young men or whatever age they were, and how you kept going back and forth with the German scientists. We want a window, all that stuff,
right?
And what a tin can it was, and what the technology was so lo-fi. The bravery or the craziness, I don't know how did you?
Well, the only thing, like I said, is my favorite movie. I loved making it. It was 9 months. I was, I wished it never ended when I was doing it. But the one thing that I think was kind of the Achilles heel about the film is the way they treated Gus Grissom. The second one into space, lost his capsule, went to the bottom of the ocean.
Right. He blew the chute, or what was the phrase?
Screwed the pooch.
Screwed the pooch.
Where they say, they were always trying to get to the top of the pyramid.
Right.
And then if you screwed up, that was, it was your fault. It wasn't the machine, even if it broke.
That's kind of like you panicked. If you pull that thing before you're supposed to.
You lost your cool.
You panicked. Worst thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that was fair or unfair? Not fair.
Unfair. Completely unfair. It was used as a device, a literary device by Tom Wolfe. And Phil carried it over in directing it. But it wasn't true. I mean, his family is still alive. This is, more people saw the movie than remember all those things, and that's his legacy. But what happened was that it was the first time they were trying out that the escape hatch that they put needed an escape hatch,
right? And
they didn't take into account that when you go into space and you come back down to Earth, the pressure building up and stuff like that, inside the capsule and the air outside. So when he hit the water, the escape hatch actually blew itself. And then the spacecraft went 16,000 feet down, and he was filled up with water in his spacesuit. He barely made it outside. It was heroic how he actually got out of that spacecraft. And so that's what he gets. And if he had screwed the pooch, then why did they give him the first Gemini mission?
Right.
And why did they give him the first Apollo mission, where he wound up getting fried on the launch pad,
right?
Burned alive.
Yeah.
He was actually the one that, because the astronauts were also kind of in charge of quality control, and he was constantly complaining about how shoddy these things were put together in the electrical system. And that's what happened in the pure oxygen environment.
I remember that day too.
But to his legacy, Ed, what happened, that's my one regret of that film.
Well, we have 1,300 peaches.
Is the dog okay?
She's just agreeing.
She's just agreeing.
That's her talking.
It's snoring and there's a fart once in a while.
It's not actually snoring. It's kind of like her talking, right, Peachy?
Peachy.
Yeah.
Peachy's like, jeez.
Super happy on this carpet.
Riveting convo, Peachy.
Yeah.
Incredibly comfortable.
She goes everywhere with me.
Dude,
She's a service.
cozy.
Sandler too always has dogs like that, right? Bulldogs.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got Bagel right now.
So then you go into what's the movie that turned you into a
what was
80s sex symbol? Was it was sort of easy, was the one in New Orleans?
Yeah, I guess so.
Big Easy?
Big Easy.
The Big Easy, yeah.
Who's in that?
Ella Barkin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a cool movie.
That was a cool movie.
Yeah. Atmospherically.
Jim McBride directed that. And he was, he had just done Breathless with Richard Gere. And he was kind of he was actually over there, during all that French New Wave stuff in France. And he kind of brought that sensibility to the film. And it was so much fun, so they tell me, to do that movie.
Okay, we can read through the lines a little bit. They can't all be, but
in New Orleans. We were in New Orleans for like 6 months.
You mean Nolans?
Nolans, yeah.
Yeah, Nolans.
Yeah,
That's right.
Now that we're
that
into
accent, all that stuff.
That world, you were literally riding a rocket once Dennis Quaid came into being.
It was
the
funny.
movie star Kevin.
That movie came out,
and
it was. I remember it was like it didn't really do well.
Really, it kind of resonated.
It was kind of down the line, And then it's the only time this ever happened in my whole career is like the second weekend. They said it went up.
It went up?
Yeah.
That's almost
and then
impossible.
it kept going up. And then it turned into this kind of like, girl get together.
Pure word of mouth.
Right. Did they have a name? They were called Quadies, or did they have a name, the fan group?
Of Big Easiers. I don't know.
Big Easier.
Yeah. Big and easier.
The Dennis Dolls.
Bigger and easier, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Quaaludes.
So that's Quaaludes.
There you have
That's
it.
what I was remembering, that it got into
For
the
a movie to
zeitgeist
go
as a
up,
sex symbol.
there's I think Titanic there's very few movies that go up the second weekend, and the third.
Almost never.
It's impossible.
Almost never. Bonnie and Clyde was the only other one I could.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they brought that out. They brought that out at the beginning of the summer. I remember when I was like 12, and it didn't do well. It just fell on its face, and then they brought it out again in the fall, and it was all about Faye Dunaway's wardrobe. It was a huge hit.
Oh, she was.
I saw it in the theaters. I was a little disturbed by it. I didn't quite know what was going on at certain times. They were rolling around in the bed, and he had a gun. I didn't know quite what it meant.
What's happening?
No lover boy.
Dana was scared.
I did see Enemy Mine. Was that a fun one to make?
Yes.
You were on a planet with Lou Gossett Jr.
Yes.
That was affecting. I thought that was really landed, emotional.
Yeah, I do too.
A stranded astronaut meets an alien.
Of that movie. And Lou was like, he was so incredible.
He committed.
I was talking
the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
I did see it.
And then Inner Space.
Which is probably the most seen movie worldwide. That I've been in the back of India, and I've
really
Inner Space.
Inner Space.
Tuck Pendleton.
Yeah.
Is that your character's name?
You go, guy.
You go, guy.
Hey,
Inner
guy.
Space. You're very tiny in the movie. But
you're not so tiny now.
No, you're bigger than the movie time. Okay. So I have a Hindu cardiologist, so I get a free pass
always says that
Indian
Dr. P.K. Shaw.
Yeah.
Who won't let me not.
There was nothing not racist. Or there was nothing racist about that.
Not at all.
Yes.
Politically correct. Great Balls of Fire, another one.
Yeah,
I saw these
Jerry
in the
Lee Lewis.
theater. Another,
of course,
incredible, high energy, memorable movie.
The Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah. Jerry Lee Lewis, who was like 18 when he made it, or 16. I mean,
he was 21.
And a crazy man on the piano. For people who don't remember him,
Ed
Showman.
Yeah, he was on the set every day.
Oh,
I
the
didn't
real
play
guy?
piano when I got that role, but I had a year to prepare for it. And luckily, I was on cocaine at the time because that will make you obsessed about anything. And so I was 12 hours a day on the piano.
All right.
Yeah,
for our listeners.
Yeah, when the movie ended 6 months after the movie came out, I was in rehab for that, by the way.
But for that part, you had to be 30 like,
years
for
that. But
you were playing the piano really pretty skilled. I mean, very.
And I stuck with it. Jerry was one of my teachers.
He was teaching the piano.
Yeah. Jerry Lee, probably his only student he ever had.
How do they do? He had a young bride, right? How do they do that on a movie where they have to hire someone 18 to play? How old was she?
Winona
13.
was.
Oh, was Winona?
She turns. Yeah, Winona Ryder. She turned. I think she turned 17.
Oh, and she had to play 13, maybe 14, whatever.
What's that?
How old was she in the movie?
In real life, she was on the cusp of 12, 13.
Oh.
And he was 21, and they were cousins. And it's
cousin.
like it really seems outrageous. And this is in no way in defense of anything. All I could say is about the culturally that back in the day of farm families, there's a reason that you have bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. It means that you are grown up, and that's when people got married back then at that age. Henry VIII was 14 when he got married to, and it's historically that's otherwise we wouldn't be here. People were having kids early, but it's still.
Did people flip out back in the day when he actually did it?
Yes, they did. Once they got it, no one here knew about it in the States, and it's when they went to England, and she was tagging along, and some reporter in the welcoming airport press conference asked her, "Who are you, little girl?" And says, Mrs. Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, no way.
And that was the end of his career, just like that.
Oh, really?
It turned off just like that, and it was done. It was like he was as big as Elvis at that point. Elvis, in fact, was had just gone into the military, and he was king of rock and roll. And that was the end of
58.
that.
Shit.
And then he just trundled around, but he never really got headlining gigs or record deals or a lot less. Or...
It was about 8 years went by, and he got into country music, which was his roots.
Yeah.
But he was huge in country music. Really big. He did come back.
So he slowed down the music then. Because in the 50s, it was really bebop.
Oh, he'd still do that. I went on tour with him a couple of gigs with the Sharks. With his band and his Learjet, 6 guys jammed.
Lear 25 with the ceilings here.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had a guy with cowboy boots. They pulled G's on that thing.
He would just go all night. I saw him when we were recording the music. Sit at the piano for 10 hours without even getting up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
10 hours.
Adderall.
Yeah.
Well, unmedicated?
Jerry,
Jerry,
in this back pocket, he had a 38.
Yep.
And in this other pocket, he had a bottle of Seagram 7. And that he had soaked his pills in, most probably. Because
that old
I know people who took one sip of that stuff and went down.
Show business is fascinating. The amount of self-destruction in artistic people.
And he was a really sweet, genuine person. And then he could be like a 14-year-old schoolyard bully at the same time. And, but he was genuine, and he was like, there'll never be another like him. He was a genius at the piano.
Yeah. When you go super famous that happens it goes away, it must screw with your head so much.
Yeah.
It's too weird. And plus, he probably wasn't ready for fame anyway. No one really is.
I think we've all had many versions of that. Yeah. Haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, not scandal, if you do want to say scandal, but, there ebbs and flows.
Sure.
Or suddenly, the tap is turned off because of this or that.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I always go back to, I do
Hollywood jail.
Hollywood jail.
One bad movie, Hollywood jail.
Yeah. But to be able to make a living was always the goal. I'm working right now.
Exactly.
And it's extraordinary to lose that humility about it, because there by the grace of who? God, there still is some whimsy to this whole chapter, and brilliant people might have just missed. I knew comedians that were brilliant and just missed the timing of getting on SNL and have a fine. They do stand up and they're fine, but there's a lot of whimsy to it.
It's hard to get cocky when you see people better than you all the time, and you go, it didn't happen.
Yeah, we all grew up with people like that in our class and stuff. That we're so lucky to be here. And you're exactly right about that. The humility, wanting to get a job.
Yeah.
I mean, I still carry that around because it's like,
still a miracle.
It makes it real. And it makes it enjoyable, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, because then it's just fun. I'm still in the game here.
Yeah.
By the way, something you did recently, I just love. I just want to insert this because I loved Billy Bob Thornton, everything he does, and I love Goliath, and I love the season where you were the bad guy.
Yeah,
with Billy Bob Thornton. Did you love that? Because it seemed like you were having a blast.
I had so much.
It's
fun.
Almost like a Columbo thing in a way. That you're the bad
Billy
guy.
Bob and I have been friends for 25, 30 years.
Yeah,
he's
in his own frequency, and it's so fun to be around.
We're both very much alike because we're both down at the bottom. We're rednecks. That just happened to break out over here.
And all the dust settles.
He's the ultimate one. He's so smart and he's so great to work with and so much fun. It's another way. It's like we were talking about before. It's about the experience you have while you're making it.
Yeah.
And it affects,
so you get to hang out with
affects your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you look back on movies, you go, oh, that one was fun. And then you start to appreciate that part because you're usually so looking ahead and just getting through the day and memorizing your lines. You got to stop and say, this is actually fun being here.
He's like a nonstop poet, basically. Or I ran into him at this photo shoot, and it was for Paramount 100-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd never met him. And everyone's there. Streep, just every actor, giant thing. They're taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I get over in the stands. I'm away from everybody. And then he happens to be next to me and he says, you're the one I wanted to meet. I go, what the fuck? And Jerry Lewis is there and Tom Hanks and, it's just weird. And Trump was just starting to run for president. And he goes, we got some John Wayne shit going on. Just says all, stuff about furniture. And
he gets right to the point.
Quirky.
It did sound like him. That did sound like him.
He is a poet.
It sounds like him.
When I was hanging out with him, I used to really be able to do him. I need to get a tape and learn how to do them again. Billy Bob, if you're listening, if you want to come on, you can come back on with Dennis.
Dana will work on his
impression. We will cater.
Yes. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it, bud.
Dennis, thank you for coming in with your still looking good, still looking ripped.
So are you, man.
All of us, yeah.
We're still here.
Still here.
It's
very nice.
Let's wax poetic a little bit and be philosophical.
Okay.
Very lucky.
Yeah,
to sum up.
Yes.
Good fortune. Lucky. Still employed.
1,000 points of light.
Moving, shaking, acting, talking, singing, dancing.
Be grateful.
Be grateful. Never get cocky. Don't think you're special. Treat the catering man the same as you would as the lead. I'm just on a roll here. Hold on.
You are.
Keep going. Peaches is there with you too. Right,
I
Peach?
use him to, if I'm feeling anxious, I do him in my head, summing up, making a list of where I am. Here, Spade's mansion, large, not too big, but special, extra bedrooms, empty. Dennis Quaid. Played Doc Holliday, Parent Trap, didn't get to it. Another classic, keeps going round and round.
So you're saying that Bush actually keeps you in the now. He's
calming.
He's your
guru, just make a list of what you're doing. Like, are you going to go fly a plane today, or what are you doing after the podcast? Are you going to wrestle a cow? You're like a cowboy. I always say, when you get past 60 or something, you can be a pirate or a cowboy. A pirate would be
a weekend boater.
No, a pirate would be from the band. Steve. You're going to get this.
No, we're going to let you die on the vine.
Oh,
by the way,
from the band. The band.
Steven Tyler is a pirate.
Oh, yes. He's a pirate.
He's got scars.
Yes, you are.
He's a pirate.
He's a pirate.
He's a pirate. You're a cowboy.
Yeah. I'm a cowboy.
So is Billy Bob.
Billy Bob's
or a redneck.
He's an honorary cowboy.
Well, of all the badasses in Hollywood, Who do you look to? Like, if you're like, would you like to work with Russell Crowe? Like, you guys would be good to pair up, probably.
I'd like to work with you, Dane.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do.
Note to self.
Yeah, and Reagan too.
Reagan,
you could play Bush.
Can I do a cameo as Ross Perot?
You actually should have come. Yes, you could.
Can I come in on the one?
Fucking peaches.
Can I? Come on, you're not listening. Let me put it this way, Dennis. You can't put a porcupine in the barn, light it on fire, and expect to make licorice. Boom. God love them all.
Love you guys.
Well,
man.
Peaches,
really.
Dennis, really thanks for coming.
I thank you.
It was very
Thanks for coming to the house,
interesting.
and it's great seeing you again, bud.
You too, man.
All right, here we go. Peaches, that's it. That's your cue.